Everybody all right? Stupid to be here another Yom. Always a baraka, a benefit, a gift to see another Yom, another day we never seen. And that right among the living. Somebody ain't see it. That's what makes it so precious, the fact that somebody don't get to see this today. He saw fit to allow us to be able to be among the living. Certainly for that, we give the high due, the thanks, and the $2 thanksgiving to Hashem. And I appreciate the performers doing what they do. Two of them kind of got a little carried away. They didn't know when to stop. They just kept going. I thought they were going to try to do it the third time. They kept going. I said, these guys, he don't know what they finna try with him. I got to keep my eyes on them guys, ain't it? Y'all all right, though? That's two. Definitely come in so we can hear what does say Yahuwah, that we can get an understanding. That's the most important thing within anything we do with all you're getting, get understanding. And the goal is to try to understand what we received that others have sought after that didn't obtain it. You know, that's an endeavor. You know, like people attempted to do something, maybe say with, you know, let's say you go along with it, they attempt to go to the moon. The first people didn't make it. I don't believe none of them made it, but just using it as just an example, the people who they claim successfully made it, they obtained something that others didn't obtain. That's our goal with salvation. We're trying to obtain something that others didn't obtain. And the only way to obtain it is to go back through the Debar, through the word, and see what does say Mr. Yahuwah. You can't serve him according to the dictation of your heart. People have told us that for years, and we saw how it's worked out for us as a nation. Now we're going back to what everybody do what they want to do. No standing. Everybody moved by some spirit that just come in at any time and tell you to do something, whether it coincide or coexists with the word or not. But for us, the goal is to make sure what we're doing is mandated. It's something that he illustrated to us to do, and we can obtain that knowledge, which is the da'ah knowledge. Just like when a person learns how to box or learn how to do a martial art, which is to, you know, kind of take control over your opponent or whatever it is, it's the knowledge that they obtain that gives them the skill set. Well, what we're trying to do is obtain the knowledge, which is the da'ah that Yahuwah gives us so we can overcome the opponent, which is kata'im, which is sin. And if you don't have the knowledge, then you don't know how to combat sin. You basically find yourself in the same struggle. So the goal is to obtain the knowledge so we can overcome the wages of sin. Since we already know what the compensation is when you commit it, you know it's going to lead to death. Once you perform it, you got to get death. Now our goal now is to try to obtain alam ka'i, which is eternal life. And the only way to do that is to obtain a knowledge, to be able to transfer. Y'all got it? That's what we're trying to do, trying to obtain that information, that knowledge. What you don't want to do is live your whole life and just going through hoping and what people say as a figure of speech, wishing for something. You can see how it works. Well, my brother said it. My brother called, he said somebody gonna come in late. They gonna come in with a cape on. He said, make sure they get a check. Yeah, my brother just called. He called me. I said, who will come in with a cape, brother? He said, trust me, somebody's gonna come in with a cape and make an appearance. Well, let me ask you a question. Did you choose the red pill or the blue pill?
You do know they made these for Matrix.
They made it for the Matrix. Are you going back in there? Whew. Well, it take all type to make the world go around in them. Only here, unscripted, you just never know what these people will do. They'll just do anything. They just pop in. You're like, you know, you understand you got to have your mind mentally set for anything because you don't ever know what these people will pull around here. But I appreciate the Most High always. Just everything that he does, granting us another Yom, acknowledging him in every aspect. You know, there are a lot of people, like I said, that'll serve him according to the dictation of your heart. And the problem becomes, if your heart not right, how do you know that your servitude is right? The only way to know your heart is right, which is the law, is to examine it and test it against the word, which is the Debar. This is the only way we find ourselves that we don't come into condemnation. You got to remember, we operate by amunah, which is stability, and also we operate by what's mandated in the Debar, in the word. So everything we do has to measure up. Just like when you build and when you're doing a building construction, there are measurements you have to meet. There's codes that you have to cover. And so we're trying to look at obtaining salvation. We're trying to make sure we meet the mandates that we're covering the codes. We don't want to just do something and say, well, this is how we've been doing it, and this is all I know. All you know don't make it right. That's right. Don't ever serve him according to all you know. That's terrible. There's nowhere in the right he ever said, well, just serve me to what you know. That makes no sense. It wouldn't make sense. That's the purpose of him teaching us. So we can be shown, instructed, so we can obtain the knowledge. And that's the key to us being our opponent. You got to remember, right now we all sit in the state that we're going to die. No, you can do all the praying you want. You're not getting out of that. Everybody's going to die. That's as much as we don't want to do it. That's true. Y'all got that's true. There were people that inhabit the Yarash, the earth, the land before we got here. And those people are gone. See, after a certain period of time, everybody here moves, and there's another Tuladab that comes in, which is another generation. And we're trying to make sure that while we're here, that we captivate the knowledge, that when we leave from this point, that our next move is when we sit in the Mashpat, the judgment, that he'll find us what they would call faithful, which is Amunah, that he finds us in a stable position, that he'll coom us up, which is to resurrect. That's all you can do at best now. To just live and die is nothing. I mean, people have done this for thousands of years, but now we're looking at with what we've learned from the people that came before us, the knowledge we've obtained from them, and looking at where we're at now, we're the people that look at closest to the end of this whole thing. We're at the end. It can possibly get another 100. I don't know why these people are trying to prepare for another 100 years. There's no way the world could take another 100 years of what we've taken. We've already gone to a point. There was never a time I ever would have thought that we would have a conversation about not calling a woman a miss, a man a mister. Having conversations about kids having sex changes. Never would have crossed my mind we'd had these conversations. But this is the situation we're in now. We're in a situation where kids can't be corrected. Kids are allowed to do what they want. They can't fail school. They do nothing in school. They're protected on every end. Parents can't discipline their own kids. You can't run your own home. Never thought we'd get in a situation like that. But this is a moving towards something. And while people are thinking it's just a few people, it's the whole world. Look at the storms. Look at the destruction that's coming on their plate. There's no way you could think this thing could continue this way. There's no way the earth can even take any more punishment than it's taking for another 100 years. It's time for man to consider. That's it. It's time to listen, the racism, for me, everybody, when we catch somebody racist in our fold, get rid of them. It's just time to listen, we've done that. We'd have done this too. Come on. My brother called me in the morning. He said, somebody's phone gonna start talking while you're up talking. I said, it's impossible. Y'all know, listen, my brother called me, tell me that. I'm saying, it's impossible. He said, trust me. Why are you whispering now? Now you want to whisper. What did you say? Whisper me, Karen? What was you whispering to me? You gonna do something? It's alive. Live what? You put on live what? Oh, he got a young cousin asking him a lot of questions. Talk up so we can all hear you. You have a young cousin that asks you a lot of questions, and you trying to send her. So when I said talk up louder, we still whispering. I'm talking to you though. Okay, you got a young cousin ask you a lot of questions, and she want to be on live. You go send her live. We whispering again. Why are we whispering? They know we talking. You ain't gonna believe him. My brother said, ain't gonna be somebody gonna keep whispering. He said, you gonna be, my brother, he knew all this. He said, somebody gonna keep whispering. So come on, so are you trying to put it on live so he can listen? What we need to do? And, so what you need to do? They need to plug, they need to put it on top of a speaker? What do they need to do? Go ahead. What? He's answering her question while I'm preaching. He said, no, this is the right answer. You break it out. So you need to put it on a speaker? Did you need to hook? You need to give it a link? What you need to do? Send the link. Share it. Y'all can send him the link. Oh, you got the link? You're still whispering. Your Bluetooth won't let you put Keisha. After a while, you don't get a check, you get one more check. Because you married to him. You knew he out of control when you brought him. Listen, y'all have out of control visitors with you. Please let us know early. Did you stop and discuss it with security or the usher that you had an out of control visitor? Could you please summon one of the ushers and let them know that you have an out of control visitor with you? Thank you. That's the problem. Let them know you have out of control. Yeah. What we gonna do with Carrie? That mean get the straight. That mean the straight jacket coming out. You know what a straight jacket is. You don't look at them. What happened? No, we just send it out. But that's the truth. A lot of people got questions today. When you look at what we're going to do in society, I mean, it's needful to sit around and look. And I think that people should constantly on a daily basis try to examine yourself and see where you at. You know, typically what we usually do, I know me, you just pray and like they said, just hope for the best. None of this is a criteria for salvation. To close your eyes as tight as you can and just start praying. It makes no sense. There has to be an intercessor. Whenever you're making palal, people don't even realize that you can't just pray and assume that it's heard by him. There has to be an intercessor. There are things and protocols that have to be met in order to get him to hear. Y'all got it? And a lot of times people don't understand that. When he told us in the book of Oriel, they call Luke 10:16, he that heareth you, heareth me. He that heareth not you. So if you don't hear who he sent to be an ambassador to speak to you, why would he hear you? My problem ain't with you, Yahuwah, which is his name is the existing one. They love to use these titles, God and other things. God is a title. This is not a name. He has a name. Just like when we're being immersed in a name because these are criteria. We're recognizing something when we're doing it. We're giving homage to something when we do it. And a lot of times people don't want to do that. And this is what hurts us a lot of times. People have their own ideology about how they feel like he should be worshiped, how they feel like he should be adored, how they feel like he should be served. I don't feel like one day is above another day. But if he designated a day and gave it to us to do it, why wouldn't you acknowledge what he said? We're not asking you about how you feel about something. What did he mandate? He gave us a mark, which is a commandment that we were supposed to observe the Shabbat. Isn't that right? And you're supposed to guard it. You're supposed to keep it. It's a sacred time that we acknowledge that we stop working. He said, well, I can work and still listen. You probably can, but the problem is you're not obeying. See, this is the problem. People saying, I hear you, like you might be talking something. They still doing something. They say, I hear you. I need your full attention. You ever done that? Like sometimes they still going. They say, I hear with my ears, not with my eyes. Wow. But getting your full attention allows to make sure, are you coming to the understanding of what you're hearing? And a lot of times we don't. And we hadn't acknowledged it. For years, people don't want to go back and actually sit down and be honest and say, I really don't know what I'm doing. You just basically following a roll of people that don't know what they're doing, people that will not admit they don't know. Just be honest with people. When we take the bar or the sefer, the scrolls, the books, the purpose is to go through to find out exactly where do we stand? Where do we stand with this man? You don't want to take a chance of just going out of here when you leave here on an assumption. It's too much at risk. To have it wrong is a major, this ain't a risk where you say, well, okay, you died, you didn't know, you tried, you still get in. No, there's a certain protocol that has to be met in order to enter in. And our goal is to make sure we obtain that. But the only way to do it is to obtain the knowledge. Y'all got it? Knowledge is what we would call, or by that definition, is a range of information. And a range of information, we got approximately 613 Amar commandments. That's a range of things that had to be covered. You know how hard it is to make sure you don't impede on one while keeping another? He even condemned them in the 23rd chapter of the book of Mathathyahu. He said, behold you, woe unto you, scribes, parashim, which are separatists and hypocrites. He said, for you paid tithes of mint, anise, and cumin. So they were paying tithes. He said, had omitted the weightier matter of the Torah, which are the direction and instruction, judgment, mercy, and recalm. He said, these you ought to have done and not to leave the others. So while trying to keep one, they felt like, well, I'm keeping this, but you neglected something. Now he's saying, because there's a balance. Just like when you walk, there's a balance. If you walk in, they tell you your equilibrium is off. Don't you know people serving the man with their equilibrium off? Because it's a balance. A lot of people, I'm going to tell you what a lot of people won't do and don't do. A lot of people don't go to a chiropractor to get in an accident. If you go to a chiropractor, you will be surprised. Now, Caucasian people are more prone to go, and they'll look at alignment at a child. They'll look at that. That's important. Looking at you're just thinking, I'm okay. You'll be surprised that when you're walking, how your body's off center and it favors one side. And sometimes, you know what, I always get this kinch in my back. If you went to a chiropractor, somebody who knows the spine and knows the bone and how things should line up and how things work, you'll see why you're off. That's the same person we come to work. To you, you'll look like him, but you're off. So all these people it's a rationale to what happens. So we come to hear the word so we can see what we are, because there's a balance. And a lot of times people don't have it. It's not just all Elohim, it's a balance. He said a man that have a wife, which is an Isha, because she issued out, comes out from the man, the Ish. So she's the issue. He said, what does he care for? Of the world. that how he might do what? Well, he get married. He said he don't care about his wife. That doesn't make sense. He said a man that have a wife, he care for the things of the long, how he can please his wife. So there's a balance. He still had to serve Elohim. At the same time, he has a care to caring for his issue. But sometimes people say, well, you know, I can't be there all the time because I got my wife. Or they look at, they can't do anything for the wife because they got all this time they got to put in for they say for serving Yahuwah, because there's a balance. So you neglect one for the other. On time we look at neglecting and when things come up contrary to the word. If my time with you or doing things for you comes up to alter what I'm supposed to do with him, then you already know that's a no-go with you. But there has to be a balance. A lot of times we don't have a balance. Y'all got it? That's the whole purpose of why we're here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna let them sound the Kato Sarah. Those are the what they're called the trumpets. And the purpose of doing that is this is our Torah direction. That when we come in a symbol, that we give the sound off. We sound off the Kato Sarah. So everybody know at that point we rise. For that, because he said when he come back, the dead and the Mashiach are gonna rise who? First. That's right. Then we which are alive and remain, we're gonna be caught up to meet him in the air. All right, so he got a premise on how it's going to do. So when he gave us the Kato Saram in the 10th chapter of the book of Bamadbar, they call Numbers, he gave you an order how which camp was supposed to get up first when they heard it. Every blow gave off symbolism to what camp was supposed to come. At the first one, he said the Kohan was supposed to come. Then he started telling you which flank should come next. The ones that sit to the east, which is the Kadim, which is in the front. And then he started telling them sun coming out from the south, which was going to be, Nigba, which is the desert. Which is Nigba which is desert. What's it? Nigba, which is the desert, the south side. And then you start looking at the north, Safon, which is north. Which you look at them, that's gonna be some dark hidden. You look at people up north, that's why they keep a lot of stuff up here, they dark hidden. See, everything makes sense to how they even name directions here. People don't realize all the directions have names. The west, the Yom, noisy. You look at out west, they're noisy people, very noisy. A lot of shooting, a lot of noise is going on. Everything he named, it has a purpose to it. Desert, hot. The south ain't nothing but hot. Heat, humid, burn. That's what the south meant. Hot, desert. Y'all all right? But see, a lot of times we just hear direction, we don't know why. He had a purpose to everything he named. So you don't realize, even without, in other cultures, when you name people, their name is symbolism. We name kids, we don't, Derek? What Derek mean? Derek? I seen on a TV show. No one does that in other cultures. Everybody in other cultures name their kids something because it's either the name of an ancestor or it meant something. Us, we just give people names. It don't mean like, I don't know when your parents name you Daniel, but Daniel all means Elohim is judge. Right? Judge of Elohim. So that makes a difference when you look at, when you understand, because Dan means judgment. So all these different things we know, and we know that Elohim is the one going to come back, he's going to judge us. Hello? This should make sense. Apharim. That's fruitful. That makes sense. That's how we know he didn't cut YashaYahu off. See, a lot of people say in their mind, or they'll say, for instance, say that, that I know that YashaYahu, who they call Israel, his people, and he's not going to forsake them. I know it because I know what the name means. Apharim is who he put over them. Apharim was one of the grandsons of Jacob, who they call YashaYahu. His name is fruitful. That's what his name meant. That's how we know. How would you cut off fruitful? See, when they want to know had he cast away his people, it's easy for them to know he hadn't because he led a people to be over them. He took a grandson of him and put him over YashaYahu, which meant that YashaYahu was going to be fruitful. So how was YashaYahu going to be cut off? See, you have to pay attention. A lot of people don't know. They just close their eyes, start squinching real tight. Just, Lord Jesus, whoever you is. Why am I serving? I don't even know what his name is. I'm asking him, whoever you is. That makes no sense. That's the purpose of us being taught so we get an understanding. So we're going to get ready to let them sound the Kato Sarah. The sound of Kato Sarah, we'll all stand. All right. Appreciate that. I knew the air done came back on. I knew it. I saw the bottom of Carrie cake blowing. I said the air back on. I said they got it back on. I don't know what happened. I think they did a little kick twist or something on there. I seen that cake blowing. I said back on. You knew when you wore that cape, it was gonna be a fight, didn't it? That didn't stop you though, did it? That's your cape. How you drive with it? You don't roll the window down, do you? You know what? He don't realize that's why Superman fly. Cause that cape get hung up while he's trying to drive. He stepped that thing while he mashing the gas, it gonna rip and choking. Can you imagine? He gonna be choking going down the street. But you did it anyway, didn't it? See, that's why Spider-Man didn't even get a cape. He already said it's gonna be a problem he started driving. He just bought him some spider web, ain't that right? So what you gonna be doing since you got a cape? You gonna fly, swing? It's actually comfortable. It's cool. Yeah, my brother called. He said when people start saying they can't be comfortable and they drive in the car and Superman fly, he said, please get them a check. But I couldn't think of who he would say might do something like that. What would be the chance it would be Karen? So while we're doing that, we're gonna look where we're gonna start at Romans 15:4. And this is Beth HaMashiach is the program that we use. You can read along with us, and we use this program so we can go back. It gives us three ways to look. This is what we call the Abari language. They will use the terminology Hebrew. I don't subscribe to the title of Hebrew, simply because Hebrew is something that they basically created in language. If you look, I think more or less you look at Semitic. If you look in Semitic, you look at people of the culture, and they look at it, the word Hebrew was not a word they used. It would be more Hebrew, Abari. It's the word that it actually is. If you go back and you look at the etymology, the H came from the English. The English actually put the H inside of it. So everybody says, this is what people don't realize. A lot of times when you say stuff, people know your ignorance. And they know that you really hadn't researched. You just follow what people tell you. Let's see etymology for Hebrew before we do this. See, one thing, unlike a lot of places, all we want to do is let's just look it up and see. If we wrong, what we can do?
Get it right.
So if we don't look it up and we wrong, what do? Stay wrong. Now you're going to take a chance at it. How hard is it to just look it up and just see? Versus, well, all I can do is just pray. Where's that a subscription or recommendation? If you're wrong, just pray. But why is it that people do it? Hebrew, late, Old English, from Old French, Hebrew, from the Latin, Hebrews, whatever they're saying, from the Greek, Hebrews, from the Aramaic, Semitic, so the Hebrew, I don't know how you pronounce it, Hebrew, corresponding to Hebrew. You said they come here, an Israelite, traditionally, from an ancestral name, Eber. This is the name they're going to take. See, they show you how much they know anyway. It's Eber. It's a bar. They'll say, but what happens, they'll say that the aleph that's used there, I think it's the un when you spell it. When you look at our language, that's why it's important to go back and look at our language from the ancient. So they'll say that the makes an E sound. So when they enunciate, they're saying that your A, that you're saying this soft A sound, which is the they say that when you enunciate it, it makes an E sound. So now what they did was they inserted a letter in when we had hieroglyphics, which means we use pictures for symbolism for letters. Just like when you look in what they would call Asian cultures, not Asian, refers more than just people, what they call slant out, what they want to say, people want to call it say. It refers to a region of people. From the Middle East all the way down, so you're looking at culture. When you look, people script differently here. People don't write A, B, C, D, E. And this is something we got from our captors. So these captors will come in and they destroy a principle of how we write. On top of that, we got words that have been inserted to us from people who don't even speak the language proficiently. If you look at them, you're going to see Ashkenazi, then you'll see the Yiddish. So some of the writers you get are not actually in Abari, it's Yiddish. And now when they come in, because you got to remember, when those people were in Germany and they started to take on an identity, these people created their own language. Mm-hmm. Now they came back and they giving it to everybody else. And so when people say it, they naturally say, I'm speaking what? Hebrew. When we go back and we look, let me see. Now the person tell you about the etymology, they tell you as much as they know. They're going back and tell you about Old English, traditionally, perhaps. What does perhaps mean? They know?
Uncertain.
We uncertain. We uncertain in reference to the river Euphrates. This is what they're going to say, they're going to use. Or perhaps simply signifying immigrant from Ibra, region on the other side, opposite side. That's why we said we Abari, because we're on the other side. And this came in when you go in the 10th chapter of the book of Barashit, they call Genesis. Barashit means in the beginning. You'll find that when the people started to build the Tower of Babel, they'll say everybody did. That's a lie. Eber had a son named Peleg. His name meant separate. So we separated. Everybody was not there. They was on the other side. So that's why we refer ourselves as the Abari people, because we're on the other side. Y'all got it? When Yahusha, who they called Joshua, after he led the people after Mushab's death, he told the people, choose you this day who you were going to serve. He said either the Elohim that was well on the other side. So he let you know they were Abari people, not immigrants. We crossed over. So it's a different, while we recognize ourselves as Abari and not Hebrew, because we're on the other side. People tell you to pick a side. Why do people ask you to pick a side? That shows where you stand. Even when Yahushua will come back, he's going to judge. He's going to put the goats. I think that's going to be Safa, which is left. And he's going to put the other ones on Yemen, which is on the right. The sheep on the right. Why? Because the righteous are going to be on the other side. So we've already had this known. This is what he said what a shepherd does, a ra'ah. He separates the sheep from the goat by doing what? He puts them on different sides. So that's what Yahuwah has done. So we look at the mandate that the word give us. It's in order to pick a side. You're basically picking a side. What side are you on? Okay. Or perhaps simply signifying immigrant from Iber region on the other side, opposite side. The initial was in the English from the 16th century. So a lot of times you start looking at how these people come and give you stuff. Then they're going to tell you it's late century. It's in reference to a person originally a biblical, which makes no sense. It's Yehudi. See, a lot of things they gave it, they just inserted in. And so when you say things, even in English, they'll correct you if you pronounce something wrong. You might know the meaning of it, but they're saying you're not pronouncing it right. Isn't that right? They'll tell your enunciation is incorrect. Because they feel it's an important. You say, well, I know what it means. You know what I'm trying to say. They say, yeah, I know what you're trying to say, but it's incorrect. So why is it a problem? Why is it you can just sling this out of your mouth? That's what society do. This is another part of getting you off. So where a lot of our people will fall to at today, that's every race culture, it's because we're comfortable with assuming something. The people give you information, tell you clearly, perhaps, what that mean. I ain't certain. So you're taking information from people telling you, I'm not certain, but they tell you that H was inserted by something. It was inserted. They said restored. No restored, because we never had it. They put it down. And you look at the Semitic language, they never had that. They show you an I sound. They show you an I type letter. These people give you things and you just accept it and you just follow along with it, and it hurts us. Now when you question, say you questioning God, not questioning God. I'm looking at what Elohim is written and what he said. It's important. When Musha was given the word, he told him, see that he do all things according or after the pattern that he saw. So seeing is a more probability for you doing something correctly. Do what you see me do. All we've been doing is following what they gave us, and they said that's what he did. So how we do today is we start questioning things based off behavior. Is this common behavior? That's what I have. When I look at somebody giving them, I'm looking at practice. Is this a practice that we can actually see it make sense? You got to start. That's how with the writers, you're looking for things that show common interests. We talked about last night, the foot, the sock, the shoe. All these have something in common. The rock has what in common with them? Nothing. So that's what I look at. When I'm reading and we go through, I'm always looking for, can I find a pattern of behavior? Is there a pattern? Just like they do, they find before they name a person a serial killer, it's because they start looking at a certain pattern. That's how you catch it, according to the pattern. You start looking at, they typically put people in the same region. So you start looking at what's the chance of their proximity from the person. You start looking, this person is not too far from where they're doing these murders. Looking at how they capture these. When I catch 4 and 5 people dead, I'm start looking at their occupation. All of them women. One's a nurse, one's a firefighter. Another one's a secretary. What do they have in common? Nothing. So I don't see a pattern. So this person is just random, but he picking women. Versus he picking them, all of them find to be in the healthcare field. This is how he catching them. You got what I'm saying? So this is what we're looking at for our salvation. You need to start looking at pattern. What do they all have common? Okay. From people that made it, who obtained it, and people that didn't obtain it. We're looking at what do they have in common. Y'all got it? Okay, let's go back to what we're looking at. So we use the Beth HaMashiach. This program is what we use today. So we use different programs. So we've been using this a little bit. And with this one, you can see the color coded for the Abari. This is the English. I think this will be the King James Version. I call it perversion. This is the Greek. And this is the Greek here. This is the King James. Is this King James here? Which one is that? I'm sorry, this is translated from here. What's another version of King James? Here, the English is another form of King James. This is translation from this. Well, this is basically translating this into English. Yeah. So basically translating this into English. And this is a modern script. This is the ancient. So the ancient script, modern script, which they call the late writing. English, well, the Abari, translated writing in English here. Greek, and this is the other Greek. Greek translated back into English. All right? So we kind of know why we look at this one. Do I have 100% confidence in any of these people? No, I do not. I'd be up front, I'd be flat with it. I wouldn't tell nobody no lie. No. I don't have 100% confidence in these people because all these people wrote for a purpose. Anybody that writes a book, write according for a purpose. They did. Chanel wrote a cookbook. She might have wrote it for everybody kid, but she had a purpose when she wrote it. It favored kids. Now you can take it and use it, you're an adult, but I'm telling you, it favors somebody else. You ain't gonna believe it, she got kids. So what was her agenda? That's right. But she favored somebody. She favored it by based off of her kids, looking at how easy it was for them to work, the originality of it, and purpose of it, and it more or less suited them for what they did, and other kids can take it away. I'm just using her for example. When these people took our book, they didn't leave it in its original form. People took your book and they transgendered it. They called it, they transgendered it. People say, well, they'll start you off with words saying these words have things common, but when you look, it's a difference, it's a way. Other customs have a difference in how they meant things and what things meant for them. You see what I'm saying? With America, that's just being honest, period. It's no credibility involved. You got a man running for president going to prison. And he can be elected in prison. But you can't get a job at the post office or work at the state building if you get a misdemeanor. If you go to jail, you get probation, it's jobs you can't get. This man going to prison, he's going to be the president of the United States, and they want to talk about integrity. That's just, I mean, he ain't going to get it anyway, but just the fact of you don't set a real president and make people do right. You more or less set people up with the ability or with the mindset of it doesn't matter what you do, you can still be right. And this is, and you know what a lot of this comes from? The population with the homosexuality that's going on. If a person want to be homosexual, that is your personal, individual right business. Just like it's your business, you want to be a crackhead, you want to be a drunk. That is your personal right and business. I don't think no law should dictate it. I think the law should dictate, man, should be the law of religion. Where you at? Where are you comfortable at with your creator? Because that's a self-choice. If you're not affecting anyone else, I don't see how that's nobody else's business.
Right.
I'm being honest. If you want to smoke crack and you smoke crack for yourself, your hurt, and you responsible for yourself, that has nothing to do with me. I don't subscribe to it. I don't smoke crack. I don't want to smoke crack. That's you. I don't believe we should pay a dime to rehab you. I don't think we should pay a dime to take care of you. That makes absolutely no sense. In that case, we might well bought the rock. We might well, that makes no sense. I don't know who comes up with this. Why would we pay and you decide to be reckless? You want to go and you want to use intravenous drugs and shoot yourself up and you dirty niggas when you've been told you can contract a hepatitis up, then that's your choice. That is your choice. That should not be our responsibility. That's your personal conviction. That's your personal stand. Then you have to live with it. See, when you give people that alternative, then people got to be more careful versus I'm a victim, I'm a crackhead, I'm homosexual, you should pay me. I shouldn't pay you nothing. And the first thing I ain't going to pay you is no attention.
Right.
That's the first check you'll get, absolute no attention. We shouldn't be responsible. These are your choices. And then when you start making people become accountable for their choices, you'll find people start to make different choices. The reason why people don't make different choices, there's no accountability. Everybody blames somebody else. Go out, you're 75 years old, you decide you want to do something stupid, then you want to go back and say you were molested. Why you didn't tell her before you were 75? Before you get caught up in something. Why you ain't seek no help? Don't come asking her for no help now. People always want to come to us when they get caught. Oh, something happened to me. When? Why we got to find out when you get caught? Why you didn't tell us before it happened? Because people are lazy. America teaches people to be lazy. When people are lazy, you're irresponsible. That's how you keep getting these tired politicians. I'm not fighting Joe Biden and Trump. You put both of them in the bag, turn it upside down. I really wouldn't care who hit the ground first. Neither one of them care about people. If he really cared about people, the man would have sat down a longer time. The man 80-something years old. He flipped over on the stage. The man don't know that. Listen, we don't need any more old white people doing nothing. Listen, you come through prohibition and slavery. You've been here way too long. Let's just let you rest. You and all your old friends, they get y'all rocking chair, let y'all sit up against the wall somewhere. We need people more innovative and people more free of thinking, realize people need equal rights, equal chance. That's not the way they think. These old guys, and to come here and introduce a homosexuality is even more scarier. Wait, what? I mean, we just are subscribing to anything? That's your personal choice. That should have absolutely nothing to do with anybody else. You shouldn't get no flag. You shouldn't hold up no. When we get to walk down the street without drawers on and a leotard flipping up down the street talking about I'm straight. I don't know why nobody else should get one. That's your personal choice.
That's right.
We ain't got no business to hold up no traffic for you. I'm gay. Okay, if you happy, that's your personal business. No, I'm the other gay. If you that one too, that is your personal business.
That's right.
You think they're gonna let me hold up the streets and march a parade and raise money and let me paint up a crosswalk so I can tell people I'm straight? How did we get here? That's the world we live in. All right, let's look at this. We start here because we need a foundation for everything we're doing. This is Romans 15:4. Listen.
For whatever Nikatah before.
For whatever Nikatah is written. So the first thing we need to know is what was written. So what about what was written?
Was Katah for our Lamed.
So it was Nikatah. It was written to teachers. Teachers is to show, instruct, and tell. That's what we'll be doing. We'll be showing, we'll be instructing, we'll be telling. You need to know that. You need to see it, and you need to know what to do, and we're going to tell it to you. That means there's no reason for you to be sitting around guessing. There's no reason for you to come up with no figment of your imagination. That's what hurt us today, because people get the opportunity to use the figment of their imagination versus let's go with what's written.
That's right.
This is foundation for us. So that through what?
Endurance.
Going through without quitting. Well, typically what people do, they quit, they give up. Why? Because they don't know how to use it. When situations happen, refer back to the book. Isn't that right? They teach you how to use a library.
That's right.
For fiction, non-fiction, history, everything. Why people don't know how to use the book? They don't want to teach you. Listen, preachers like lazy people. Everyone right there, close your eyes. Just wave your hand. I'll just wave your hand. Say, I love you. Oh, say it again. What's the purpose of why? Can't we find this mandated that this is a use or this is a practice that he gave us? No, but the Spirit is moving on me right now. So everybody's saying the Spirit moving. Won't we just stay with what's factual?
Right.
I'm not saying it's Katah sin for a person to wave their hand and say a hobby, but people use this as a lazy excuse versus getting the knowledge and learning what's your responsibility, what's required of me. That's what I want to know. What do you require? Y'all got it? Let's see what he said. Listen. So that through patience, going through without quitting. Listen.
And through the Nakum.
Comfort. So the writing should give me enough. I should be able to go to writing and find the rationale for why I don't quit. I should be able to go back through the writing and I should find a consolation to keep me going. Not just don't quit. Why don't quit? People say, don't quit, Cam. Cam, don't quit. Why? Just don't quit. That encourages him, doesn't it? That ain't giving him no answer. For what? Because I'm going to tell you, your reward is on the way. That's that makes a difference. You've been working for something. I'm telling Cam, the reward is here to come. It's soon to come. So that's a rationale for not quitting. Don't just say, because they told you don't quit. That makes no sense. Why? Because something is going to be delivered to me. I seek him for the Ruach HaKodesh, which is the spirit of separation. That's what we look. Separating from what? From behaviors. Separating from what? Ideologies. Y'all got it. Separating from what? Failures. And for people, that's what operate here. The other side. So we learned that naturally, what the other side was. That when people did something, we put a difference in between us. There's a difference. When you wash your clothes, I don't know, women probably do it now. They put the clean and dirty clothes in the same basket. They can put baskets right beside each other, but they're going to make a difference in between how the clothes cleans look and how the dirty clean. Some of them even look at the hampers will be different colors because there needs to be a clear-cut separation. Why is it today everybody look the same? The dirty people and the clean people look the same.
That's right. That's right.
Because we don't do what he told us. There should be a separation.
That's right.
And people think, well, all of us just need to be together. No, there needs to be a separation so people can choose.
That's right.
Now you have a choice. What side you going to serve? They want us all to mix together.
Yep.
Don't say Mr., don't say Mrs., don't say he, don't say she, and that way everybody just mix it together so you confuse people.
That's right. That's right.
Listen, while we sitting here and we're okay with these things, we are losing.
Losing.
We are losing our kids This makes no sense that a man would be in the women's restroom. That's crazy. They already found it that women getting raped in these restrooms. They want to keep it on television because they know it's going to hurt the homosexual agenda. You could be homosexual. You don't need us. They don't need no law. The law should be the same for everybody. If you get murdered and you hadn't done something wrong for them, they already got a charge for that.
That's right.
Your sexuality shouldn't have nothing to do with it.
That's right.
That makes no sense.
That's right.
Did you kill him? Yeah. Did the person? No. We got murder.
Right.
What them? No, we need to put something on it because they were gay. Listen, you getting the same time you get when you kill anybody else. We ain't give you no special treatment. That's crazy. Right. And you're going to try to use that as the same as a person color? You choose homosexuality.
That's
you don't
right.
choose no race.
That's right.
You kill a human being, you get the same time. I don't care what. That's ridiculous. Now, if you kill a person because of their color, what can a person do to change their color?
Nothing.
Nothing. Person can't change them to change their nationality from where they came from. No one had a choice in that. Homosexual, that is your choice.
That's right.
Listen, who in here couldn't be homosexual? What stopped you from being homosexual? I tell you what, it's called a choice.
Yep.
That's the only thing, a choice. Just stop it. Don't tell me, man, you know what? See, you lie to yourself sometimes. It's called a choice. It's called a choice. Who in here can change their race? Oh, stop. Who in here can change their race? Let's try something. How many people in here what they call black? Raise your hand. I see a problem. Put your hand back down and say something. How many non-blacks in here? Raise your hand. My brother Jacob, come on, come on. What's your nationality?
I'm white.
Come on, put your hand. Come on. Come on, my brother Carl. Come on, my brother Jacob. Come on. He told me, he said, I got too many white people.
I ain't got no choice, and I didn't make myself.
Hey. So when did you become white?
When I came out the womb.
Whew. There's a lot going on today. See that? I told you how the world going crazy, ain't it? But look, typically, no one gets an opportunity to choose that. As far as a behavior, you choose that. Like, okay, so let's go with this. Let's go with homosexuals didn't have a choice, okay? And neither do murderers, and rapists, and child molesters, and slave owners.
Right.
Come on.
That's right.
How we gonna listen?
That's right.
Okay, let me say, they were born like that. How do we charge these people when you don't have a choice?
Yeah.
This is some quote unquote, God made you. He made you a murderer. He made you a child molester. I don't know why any of these people being incarcerated.
That's right.
And you get to use, you didn't have a choice in the matter.
Yeah.
And though I chose black, as they call it. Nobody choose this. This is something these are called assignments.
Yeah.
That's why teachers, sometimes a teacher might give you options. You can read this book or this book, but typically you're given an assignment. Either you do the assignment or you fail. Why don't we tell these people they fail? Why don't we just tell the people you fail? Say you fail and don't give attention to it. Like, listen, yeah, I dislike the behavior. I know it's very unproductive, but it's still your choice.
Yeah.
If I was a homosexual man, I wouldn't want nobody to tell me not to do it either. I look at it the same way I do with the religion I choose. This is a religion I choose because based off of truth that I find, that I see, and I can verify my proof. You know what I'm saying? It ain't my truth. I can verify why I tend to worship this way. What you're saying you do, you don't have proof to back it up. You see what I'm saying? This is all your idea. This is all figment of your imagination because I'm telling you, I'm good with my assignment and you ain't gonna press your assignment on me. That's you failed the assignment, that's just bottom line, and let you leave you alone. It was a time people have been homosexual and the world kept moving because people like that, listen, long as you ain't coming to me with it, now we open the way, it's just a matter of time, they're gonna be coming and hand us phone numbers. And I'd rather not get involved. How do we get in our school? I'm very disappointed with our people. Listen, black, white, age, whatever you call yourself, we are all failures. The fact that our kids are unprotected. Our kids are sitting here subservient to their foolishness. We got a man reading to them with a dress and his penis hanging out. What kind of foolishness is this? Why you just can't read the book? Why you can't be? Why all of a sudden native people get to come read the book? Why the kid got to hear? It's a book, man. Why does it have to be read for somebody transgender? This serves no purpose. Is there more knowledge if a transvestite do it? Why are we bringing this to the school? Why isn't the teacher doing their job? Well, I say all the teachers ought to get together and walk out. Let them have it. Let the transvestite have it. Let them have it. When them parents had to leave them job and they get fired because they ain't got nowhere to go, I guarantee you all this stuff gonna stop. Bring the belt back. I'll come up there, I'll whoop every one of them kids behind. Man, we can stop. Listen, we need to get back. When I came along, teacher controlled the class. Man, I had a couple of old black ones. It was one lady in the fifth grade, her name Miss Glad. I ain't know nothing about praying, but he heard my prayer and they give me Miss Glad. Miss Glad had a closet she put you in. Man, she beat you a whole nother color. All her kids were smart. I said, I definitely be in that class because me and her gonna stay in that closet. I didn't want to listen. I prayed, he heard it. I didn't go to Miss Glad class and I was so thankful. That lady, listen, she didn't play. Listen, man, listen. You didn't get it. Listen, that whole hallway heard you in that closet. I said, I go in that class, me and her gonna be in that, them kids ain't gonna learn nothing. I said, listen, them kids ain't gonna learn nothing. Me and her gonna stay in that closet the whole day. Because I didn't know nothing. I was just socially promoted. So I didn't need to mess up them kids. Them kids and I had a future. And I was not finna mess them kids' future. They deserved it. Her, Miss Peter, she walked like this to him. This was bad. Her, she'll talk to you the whole class time and get through and want to know about, did you finish the work? You like, are you serious? You were talking to her, but you couldn't say that. This woman go through her whole, tell you about her sons, her twin, one of them what he do and the other one do. You can't keep writing when she talking and get through. You done? You serious? I'm like, this is a setup. You need to quit talking. But listen, and she beat the brakes off you too. But we had to listen. But they meant it for you. Listen, nobody ever got anything broke, no black eyes, no skin pulled. They just believed in this. And you know what the difference was? They were parents. They were parents. They looked at you as their kids. Them folks looked at you as their kids. That's why I look at teachers. If you don't go into school in the classroom and you don't see those kids and view them kids like your own kid, you need to be fired. You can't go in there. You can't do it. Listen, they're going to be smelling. They're going to be, some of them not going to have anything to eat. When you go in there, you're a parent. You got to care for them kids. You got to come out your own pipe. Anybody got to know, you need to go ahead and PT. I need to tell everybody. Nobody said that. Nobody had no, listen, feed them kids. You take them kids, they innocent. Don't go through what their mom did. Just take care of them kids and be done with it. Get them kids, because all you're going to do, you're going to lose them. You're going to lose them. When them kids sitting down, they ignore it. And that's what bad now. A lot of these teachers now, they want a cell phone, some tight jeans, and some long fingernails. They want to hold them, they just them, and the guys, they go in here to hold and look around too, and the kids are victim. We came along, listen. First through about 9, all you teachers ugly. All teachers be ugly. If you ain't ugly, let me tell you, this is what they need to do. They need to bring you in the class, look at you, take that brick, say, come on in the bathroom. Then let you in the classroom, that way you can focus. You take that brick and you ugly the teacher up and going on them kids, they be like, I got to get this word so I got your class. You don't want to be back in the next year. Ugly the teacher, the kid can focus. That kid coming out, man, that thing got a dookie-de-dook laying back there. That kid ain't going to learn that. That thing turned right at that boy. That kid will be like, write that again. Put a little height, and that on the tiptoe, that thing bouncing. No. Make the teacher sit behind the student, use a projector, and form it at the wall. And the kids are losing. The kids are losing. It's just certain stuff. These kids, you need less distraction if possible to come to these kids. It's an institution, and you're trying to educate them. You can't bring all the outside forces. They're kids. They can't focus. They don't know how to rationalize. Look at it. I got to work. They get caught up on the teacher. Teacher got to know how to get care. I believe if you get folk where they want acting all freak with these kids, them kids need a hug. They didn't know you care. Right. Man, let me tell you, ain't nothing excite a kid more than know you care. Right. I had some teachers take me, they leave their class, they take me with them. But you know, man, you walking down the hall with the teacher, you look up. You know, they look up. You look, I'm with some, ain't nobody can stop you. You with the teacher. You invincible, going out, man, little stuff like that. That just made my day. They said, so come on with me. I'm going up. Look at you going by class. You move slow. Make sure they see you. Make sure everybody you walk by that class, let them know they thinking. And they thinking, That nigga gotta be going to the office. I ain't going to the office. Not this time. All the other time I was going. That's why I want you to know with the teacher. This time I know what you're thinking. This time I'm innocent. I think. I don't know until we get to a fireman squad. So all these different ways you got to use these tactics in order to try to gain our kids back. Well, it's the same thing coming out with the word. So that's why he showed us the compassion, because we need to know. Having somebody he gave us that could feel our compassion or had compassion on our infirmity, our weakness. A lot of times people don't cater to people's weaknesses. What we do today with things that are contrary, but we talking about people have natural flaws that they have that they feel that are inabilities, like being able to not commit sin or kata. I mean, this is something of weakness. They put you in a state of weakness. That's why you give into it, because you're weak. So the purpose of the word to come in to strip. Did he need an inhaler? I thought somebody had a vacuum cleaner when he was sucking so hard over there. God almighty. Y'all do he have a CPAC machine? Somebody got a CPAC. Y'all know, don't forget out of Rahab the little child. When I heard that, I said somebody hooked the vacuum cleaner up back there. But please y'all work with me. Y'all know I need some help. But let's try to look at some things. How about that? Let's look at something. Let's look at we'll finish that right. YashaYahu, they call it Isaiah. That's a conclusion.
And through the Nakum of the Ketubim,
so
we might have
talking
tikva.
about the comfort. See that the comfort of the writing, we might have tikva, which is a cord or an attachment. Let's see that. YashaYahu. Let's do 53 and 1. But I'm gonna go up for now. So YashaYahu, see the difference with them again, we find meaning of the name. This is the salvation of Yah? Yah saved? Come on. No, you did good. Now you all right. I ain't gonna get you the time right. Yah saved. Boss, you agree with that? YashaYahu, Yah saved, or salvation of Yah? Salvation of Yah? Let's look it up and see. Let's look it up and see. Before we know whether or not he ain't get a check. Listen, kids get checks too now. Don't think your little kid, don't be rubbing your little kid. Oh, my kid's so precious. My kid can't get a check. My kid's name can't get on the board. Your kid name, the first one on this board.
That's right.
Isn't that right? That's what the world, the kids need more checks.
That's right.
They're gonna look up right quick. Let's see what YashaYahu means. YashaYah. Yah has saved. Y'all see that? Yah has saved. All right, we'll take that. So y'all remember that? So this is something that's done. Yah has saved. So what he was doing right here?
Saving.
He was declaring the end at the beginning. ED means it's done. Remember, these are things we look at to find whether or not it's the rationality of it. When you put ED, it's done. Y'all got it? So this is saying this is done. Y'all got it, which means he was declaring the end at the beginning. This is what YashaYahu told her. He said, I declare the end at the beginning. So we go back to look. This is what you have to look at. And the reason why, for me, I look at these things, because him for knowing, you got handlers. With us going into captivity from where we originally were, it was needful that the word would be translated all these different nationalities and all these different cultures, because we were going to be dispersed among these people. No one was going to allow us to come into their culture and keep our religion. You couldn't ever suppress us if you let us keep our religion. It made as much sense as letting Shamshun keep his hair. What was going to happen if you let us keep our religion? We were going to break away from it. We were going to escape. We were going to take you out. We were going to kill you. So it made sense to change and reduce us. You know what I'm saying? To change what we had to take, and then you filter some. Well, you didn't filter, you put additives in it. So you changed. I mean, there were certain things you didn't give us. There were certain stories you weren't allowed to read or know about. They gave us more things on how you should obey your master, which made sense since you was a slave. Y'all got it. Everything you gave is how you were supposed to turn the other cheek, how you weren't supposed to kill, you weren't supposed to steal. Because why? I'm going to have more of you than me, and I'm going to have my back turned sometime. And I'm counting on what I taught you or what I let you learn from your book, like thou should not kill, that's going to sink in and you won't kill me. Thou should not steal, because I'm going to have you out here in the field. I'm going to have you gathering things in. I want you to know that, so I don't have to worry about you taking stuff on your own. And to have you thinking that there was an all-seeing God that watched you no matter where you were and what you did. There's an Elohim, but they had a purpose. The King James Version, all these translators had purposes of why they wrote. So it was needed for us to start learning patterns so we could pick out what's identifiable that he said and what you can find the oppressor used against you. Like learning, I declare the end at the beginning. That was needed for you to know. So we look at YashaYahu. YashaYahu told us he's saved. They no doubt they looking saying, he's saved. We're not saved yet. I'm telling you the end now. When I start out, I tell you right at the start off, he's saved. This was already a company. They consider him some writer, speakers, not, of course, from the Sefer, the scrolls of book. They would look at YashaYahu, they would call him what they would say the eagle eye. They would call him the eagle eye. They would call prophet, but the word is Nabah. N-A-B like NBA. Nabah. He foresaw a lot of this before time. We told us under us a child was born, under us a son was given. We didn't know that. We didn't know what the child was going to be when it came. Except YashaYahu already told us what we're getting. He said, under us a child was born, under us a Ben was going to be given, a son, which meant it means several us because the Ben, B for the Beth, the house. Let's see on the Alaph Byth chart right quick. We'll come back here. Matter of fact, and then we'll look at this is the Alaph Byth chart. And ancient Semitic. So every time these folks talk about these folks anti-Semitic, it's amazing. How many of y'all hear that all the time? They say that, man, they're anti-Semitic. You know what's amazing? You never hear them say that when it comes to Muslims. Anti-Semitic does not refer to just no Jewish people. This is the psychosis of the fools they teach you. This refers to people in that region. Semitic is not reduced to just Jewish people. I don't know why. They sell you on something. When you're against Muslims, like the people burned the Torah, they burned the Quran over in Sweden. That's anti-Semitic. They never used the terminology with it, yet it refers to, can we see what Semitic means? Let's just see, can it be, but see, this is the word you hear all the time, because why? They kind of curve you to believe something one type of way. Let's see. Relating or denoting a family of languages. I don't know how you can have an S behind languages if it's only one people. That include that Hebrew, Arabic, and Aramaic, and certain ancient language as the Phoenician, and I forget what that, Acadian, how you pronounce that, constituted the main subgroups of Afro-Asiatic families. So you see that? Now how can I be anti-Semitic only when it comes down to what they call quote-unquote Jewish people? So it's a family group of people that are all in a certain region. See, they teach you that, and how many, they always use when it comes to the Jews. He's anti-Semitic, he's anti-Semitic. So what, he don't like Muslims? He's against the Phoenician language? No, Jewish people. So why don't you just tell people the whole truth? Just tell people, this is the problem I have with religion. They want to tell you what they want you to know versus, let's look at what he said and let's get understanding. Let's look at 9 and 6 right quick. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Ben, look. So this is what we look at. The Beth. They'll put B-E-T, the Beth. This is the tent floor plan, family, house, inn. That's what it means. The family, when this symbolism, when they saw it, they knew it referred to the family, they knew it referred to the house, and they knew it referred to inn. This is the the middle. This is the second scripting they did after captivity. When we got taken over by the Medes and the Persian, our language, we started to change the way we wrote. We moved from this. This is what's believed, that this was our original writing, the ancient, that after our captivity, when we went into what they call Babylon, that we changed our scripting. Because you remember, we went among people, they script in Aramaic. You'll find the Aramaic language, their scripting is similar to our scripting. This is the modern, what they're called the late. This is the last one they came up with after. So, the Beth, tent plan. No, I'm sorry. This is what we wrote in when we went into captivity. I'm sorry, the middle chain. This is what we wrote. This is what they believe we wrote. The last one is what we wrote in captivity. So we look at the tent plan, family, house. So the Ben, the Beth, the B. Let's look at the noon. The noon, which is a seed, continue. Air, I think the air is Yarash. Yarash, write it down. Y, you can write it right. Y-O, I would do Y-A. Y-A-R-A-S-H. Y'all write it down. Yarash, that's the word for air. Y-A, they would do it Y-O-R-E-S-H. I would do YARASH. YARASH. They would do YORE. Okay. Driving out. Previous tenant, possessing, in place. See that? To seize, to rob, to inherit. Y'all see that? Y'all see I told y'all how I would spell it? I assure y'all I didn't even look at that. I knew how they spell it. They're going to spell it YORESH. I already knew what I was going to do. YARASH. That's how you become an inherit. That's how you become an heir. So y'all see what happened? To occupy. Look at that. To seize, to rob, to inherit. Who we going to use? Hands. Hands. I want name. Jahi first. Tell me who we're going to use. Yaakov and Yasu. Remember that? Yaakov, who they called Jacob, he took his brother, he seized his birthright. He told him he stole it. With me, he robbed it. So you see why the word makes sense. So you ain't going to believe it. That's what Yahushua did when he came here. He seized it. He took that birthright. Adam was the first son that we knew in the flesh. So he had the birthright. So Yahushua came here and he took it, but he seized it. He didn't know what he was doing with it. He said, you got it, but you ain't going to believe it. This man here, what you'll find in common with Asu, who they call Esau. The man name is Asu. Asu commonality with Adam was both of these guys gave up their birthright for food. Both of them gave up their birthright for food. Y'all see that? So that's how we look at it. So that's when you look at Yarash. This is when you're going to become to occupy. Y'all got that? So this is what we're looking at, to seize or to rob or to inherit. Y'all got it? Or to expel, we casting out. Guess what we're going to do for us to inherit eternal life? Well, you're going to have to seize it. Got to take control of it. That's what Yahushua did when he got up from the grave. He asked death, he asked grave, what was your victory? He had death, what was your stain? He let him know I overcame it. That's what you got to do. You got to overcome it. Listen, I was a regular fornicator. I didn't know how I was going to stop fornicating. I wasn't even looking for trial. I didn't know. It wasn't even something I didn't put in my mind. How you stop? You horny? There it is. You get it. What else you do? That's natural, which means nature. But then you have to defy some laws of nature. When it comes down, when nature drives you to do, they say that's natural for a boy to like a girl. Nature. It ain't natural for a man to just be sleeping with a woman. How he set up now, this is when you're going against his nature. So you have a nature that's ruachni, spiritual, and you have a nature that's natural. Now there's a natural attraction, but now you break a law with Yahuwah. Because I told you don't touch. I told you don't taste. I told you not to handle. So now why you saying, man, that's just nature, man. I ain't finna fight nature, but you need to, because now we look at you just broke the nature of Elohim. Y'all got it. And that nature is more superior than the nature that you're trying to bow to here. Now nature determined that a man like a woman, that's nature. We don't want to fight that now. Don't fight that. Now, if nature tell you to like an ugly woman, boy, you better fight. You put you some gloves on. Get you a knife. Like, go get yours and get you a knife. Who you with, huh? So, let's say that. So when we look at the bin, I appreciate the Beth. So we see the noon is the seed. We see it go down before it go up. That's the first thing, because that shows Yahushua. Before he went up, what did he do? He had to descend. So do you see when you put a seed in the ground, before the seed comes out of the ground, the first thing happens, it has to take root. So what Yahushua had to do before he came up, he had to take root. That's why he went in the ground. That's what the seed does. But listen, he did that so that he could do what? Continue and become the. So we look at the sun as the noon. So go down. Ben, this is the tent plan, the family, the house. So guess what the plan is? We got to have a son, a seed, so the family, the house can continue. So let's go see what YashaYahu told us at 9 and 6 right quick. I got 53 and 1 of YashaYahu. So we know that already when we go here, guess what happened? Y'all has saved. We talking, man, so the wondering for people is what? What's he going to deliver them? What's he going to save them? So you got a man on the scene telling you his name is Yah has saved. So you saying he's saved? I don't see it yet. So we're looking for something to come. So it helps to stabilize our belief. So this is what we call amunah. This is stability. I know it said faith is something hoped for, evidence of things unseen. That's how I look at it. For them, they looked at it, this is what I stand on. This is part of my belief. I'm unwavering, unmoving like a building. You know what I'm saying? Like something planted and put here. You're not moving for this. This is my stuff. I have roots in this. I have something I can stand on. That's how we look at amunah. When we look at Abraham, he had something to stand on. This is 9 and 6 of YashaYahu, the same book. Y'all has saved. Listen.
For a Yalit shall be born to us.
See that? He's telling us then, y'all pregnant. And what happened?
A being shall be given to us.
See that? So guess what happened? And the fact that he told us, guess what we just learned? We thought he was going to cut us off. So we just got news. That's why we know he saved. He said, guess what? Y'all having a son. See, for them, they knew having a son meant the name will continue. That means the name continues. The family continues. So this was new. We felt like Yahuwah had cut us off, that we was coming to an end. So when this man came, this was good news to us. What they call, now they'll call it gospel. Gospel is the God spell.
Right.
That's a spell, because they tell people nothing but lies.
Yeah.
They lose people that you can't lose because the word bound them.
That's right.
He told Cup, whatever you bound on the shaman, he said, I bound it in him. I don't know how nobody can loose you when he said, I bound it.
That's right.
And then he loose something. I don't know how you let somebody bound you back into it. With me, they bring you right back into sin.
That's right.
And that right, he said, you bind it here, I bind it up down.
That's right.
And if you loose it here, I loose it up down.
That's
I don't know
right.
why people taking the other people's advice saying you loose when it does not correspond with writings. That's how important writing defines what we can do and what we can't do. The writings are so essential to us, which means they promote something. Y'all got it? Let's see. So look what he told us. So under he told us a Yalit child shall be born to us. A being shall be given to who?
Us.
He said that's to us.
That's right.
So what were they doing us? They were giving us nakum, comfort.
That's right.
That's comfort.
That's
they
right.
come and tell the man, say, hey, congratulations, you had a son. Yes. Yes. Isn't that right? Yes. You like, that's what we're waiting on. That means the house continues. He could have said a girl. That ain't a bad thing, but for the house can't continue. That's somebody else's family. Because had he given us a daughter, that daughter had to marry a son. Somebody else's son, which means that heir, that possession, that goes to another family.
Right.
We need to know it came to us.
That's right.
That's why he said, unto us a child, but unto us a being was given. And
the government shall be on his shoulders.
The rule shall be on his shoulders. Isn't that right? Meaning, guess what we found out? He gonna carry the burden. We got somebody gonna carry the burden. So when we see him with the cross on, guess what we realized? He carrying the burden for us. That's the one we were told. See, people didn't realize what was the purpose of them putting. When we look at the government, we also look at when you look at these rulers back then. They had them from Pelotus, who they call Pilate, Herod. Those guys were emperors, what they call kings. Nobody used the title king. We got this stuff. When we got in the love books, they were called emperors. Now you got people, in the middle, those folks weren't called no king. Now they do the Saudis do the stuff because they got it from these people here. You were called emperors. You look in China, they don't have king, they had emperors. Y'all got it, we had dynasties, which means we ruled for periods of time.
Right.
We got this stuff from these people over here. So we got this, we so mixed up, we don't know what we got. They had a king that's saying, we didn't have that stuff. We ain't have no white women, no blonde hair, hanging their hair out no window to pull nobody up. Put your hair back in that window and sit down somewhere.
That's right.
Just fool it. They got, these are love story they gave. Either apple fall asleep, somebody come kiss you. You probably been raped.
That's right.
So you got too much going on with these stories, but some reason the women go here and they want, that's why they go to, I get they go to the club, let these guys slip these Mickeys in their drink or something, they've been watching these poison pill books and everything. Get conscious. We had ruler emperors. Y'all got it? So now we knew this man was going to be an emperor. Y'all got it? He was going to carry the weight, the burden of what we had to go through. And when we heard his name, why wouldn't it be wonderful? His name was, we learned first that he saved. Mm-hmm. He saved. When we learned about Yahushua, we learned that was his salvation. Mm-hmm. See, I told you what I was going to do before I sent it. Yahushua is y'all's salvation. But I told you before he came, I saved. So now when I look at this man, this him. This is him. This is the one that saved us. He became a vindicator. That's the purpose of being a shopper, a judge. A judge can condemn and vindicate. Right. So we knew Yahushua being, as they would call him the Sadiq Shafet. In the English, they would call it the righteous judge. Then we knew that he vindicated. His rule was right. He vindicated us. Y'all got it? Just like we learned when it came down when Solomon, who they call Solomon, when the two women came to him and told him that one said that while she slept, she said, this woman, both of them were harlots. Sanuth is the word in the Abari. Sanuth, which would be whoredom. So these two women were both harlots, And the one lady told her that while they slept, she said, this lady had a child nursing and I was nursing mine. She said, but when it came that night, she rolled over on hers and hers died, murdered, death or murdered or crucified. So she said that night she took the baby and switched them. She said she gave me her dead baby and took my living baby. And they brought it to Solomon. That's the first time we saw the wisdom of him, which would be Hakma. Hakma would be wisdom or skill. See, if you had wisdom, it was showing your skill level. How do you think people say you do? They say, you know what, you pretty stupid. Because don't look at your skill level, you can't figure out. So they just look at knowledge, range, information, wisdom, habit, you know things. We looked at it as you demonstrated. So Hakma would be, but it's an argument on whether it's the C sound, because you can't make a sound with it, but the double H sound would make the hocking sound. Hakma, which would be wisdom, which means skill or witty. Okay, so we found that Solomon was witty. Now, how did he become witty? He showed him. He said, well, to figure it out, he said, hey, he summoned the man to come up with a sword. He said, cut the baby in half. Get this woman half and get the other woman half. And when he got ready to do it, the one woman stopped. She said, stop. No. She said, let her have it. She said, don't cut it in half. He told her, he summoned her and said, get that woman her baby. Mm-hmm. They understood they saw his skill level. He knew the mother of that child looked there. I ain't willing to have my child cut. The other lady agreed. She's like, yep, cut it in half. Both of us have. Because she looked at it, I already done lost. It ain't gonna hurt me, we cut it in half. And he picked that, his skill level allowed him to realize being witty, give this woman her baby. And that's how we understood it. So it's a skill level. Y'all got it? That's how you know whether a person have it. There's a wisdom that comes from Elohim. This is what we learned in 1 Corinthians, I think the second chapter, they start to talk about the things of Elohim, no man know it, but the Ruach. So when a man starts to demonstrate knowledge of Elohim, then we know where that knowledge comes from. That wisdom comes from Elohim. Y'all got it? Because a man can have a wisdom of the world too now. Yeah, why y'all think people build buildings? That ain't no wisdom of Elohim to build no building. There ain't no wisdom of Elohim to put a computer together. I mean, of course, all information comes from him, but we're talking about when you have the knowledge to the understanding of the will of Elohim, how Elohim operates, how to interpret his will. That wisdom comes from Elohim.
Yes.
You got to pick that for yourself. You'll run into one on one day. Y'all got it? So we know it's going to be on his shoulder what his name was going to be called. We'll go back to what we had, 53 and 1. There's a conclusion. YashaYahu. Don't forget, what has he done? So that's consolation. I know, that's kind of like Justin do. We used to watch movies together. We started watching a movie with Justin. I don't tell Justin about a movie until I don't watch it. Because first thing that man do, he go in there and find out what's going to happen at the end. And you sitting there on your tiptoes, waiting, hoping something's going to work out some kind of way, because you don't know, because you just sitting and watching. Justin just sit back, laid back on the couch. You trying to figure out, what's wrong with him? He said, yeah, I already know what's going to happen. We like, what? He'll say, can I use the restroom? He go right in one of my rooms, go on the computer and look the movie up. So he guessing the movie going, you like, how you know that? Because he done looked it up. So, but think about this. He's sitting back because I already know what's going to happen.
Right.
That's how we're supposed to be when it comes down to the word.
Right.
I told you I saved. Why would you have any doubt about anything else?
That's right.
See, when you have the stability, which is the amunah stability, not faith. So the stability of, then it's a comfort letter. I already know what he's going to do. Think about Daniel. When he was put in the lion cage, remember how he was up on the wall, they saw the finger scratches on the wall? Y'all remember that?
No.
When they came in there, what was he doing? He was fast asleep, laying on Ari.
Yep.
It's a comfort. It's a comfort to know. It's a comfort to know. The person that have what we tend to do, we faint a lot of time adversity comes because we don't know the outcome, and that's natural. You're not doing that that's not natural. It's just when you obtain the knowledge of Elohim and you understand how he works. When he said all things work together for the that do what now? Do your hobby? Then guess what? It got to work out for you. But when I don't have the knowledge, and I can say I have an affection for him, but I don't have the knowledge to go with the affection, which means I don't know how to properly harp him. How am I supposed to harp him? All my heart. So that means I don't love nothing else. Everything, I hate this shirt, I'm finna tear it up right in my pants. Come on, that wouldn't make possible sense. That means I can't love my wife, I can't love my kids or my grandkids. No, there's a priority factor. when it comes down to love him, that supersedes it. That's what Abraham showed him. When he had the two sons, the two men, and that thing grieved him. And you know what he told him? Don't let it grieve you. All that she told you to do,
do it.
Do it. And then he gave him consolation because in that seed, that's where the promise is going to come from. So he didn't just put it, so like we say, you just got to just go when he tells you something. That doesn't make sense. I have to understand what I'm doing. Why would I just put my son out because he said put him out? Unless there's consolation. Abraham, he said it grieved him to get rid of that son. But when Elohim brought him back to memory, in your seed, YashaYahu, which means he laughed, that's where the promise is going to come from. So this son will not affect it. Plus, I'm still going to take care of this son. He just, see, people try to teach it like, he just did what he told him to do. No, he didn't do it like we did. Why?
That's right.
So, I mean, it's got to make sense. You know what people do? You serve it and what you're doing don't even make sense. It's just a matter of time for you get yourself entangled and you don't quit. You know what happened with a lot of religions? You gas out with them. Because you running and you doing stuff, and then you're going to finally hit that wall and realize this makes no sense. You just running and you're going to run out of gas. Versus, it makes logical sense why he put his son out. The spirit, one of the spirit, this man, he complied based off of what he told him. I'm going to keep my word with you concerning this son. This son, I'm still going to provide for him, but he needs to be separate from him. He didn't just jump in. Why would he do that? That's why these people be listening to stuff all out the air and make a fool. And they got these ring cameras. They make a fool out you. You could be listening to a ring camera telling he spoke to you.
Yep.
You really need to focus. Make sure the word. These people play with you, these ring cameras now.
That's right.
Here's what he did. Who
has among our message?
That's what he want to know. That's true. Let me see. He just think about it. He just told us he's saved. What state were they in right there? Huh? They was in perils. They was in trouble. And you telling me now, so of course, why would I believe it? I'm looking at what state you in right now? You filthy rich. See, don't you feel like jumping up running right now? You thinking, look at me saying, filthy from where? I'm filthy broke probably.
Yeah.
Filthy rich. But I'm just saying, think about it. So now, why would she believe that? Unless there's something there to substantiate. So now he's going back and he's looking at everything I told these people. They looking at him. And he right. Who believed it?
That's right.
Who believed it? So these people, let me see, these wretched people, no, these people dealing with truth. I know where I'm at right now. Until I see it, until something happened different, you can't expect me to move from it. You can't expect me to just jump up with cheer and start running with confidence until I see it. When you start talking about possessing amanah, that stability, this comes through experience. Being put in crisis situations where, you know what? This is it. This is your whole world right here. And it's going to be over with. It's no out. And then you know what happened? It didn't work out the way you wanted, but it worked out the way that won your whole world. Yeah. So then when occurrence keep happening, guess what happened? You start to build from it. Now when some of the situations, you know, I've been here before. Before I think, before I quit, before I cry, before I give up, let me wait. Let me see how that work out. See, that's how you build it. It comes through experience. It don't just come through because you heard something. When you start hearing the word, like we use Romans 15 and 4 or 5 basis, foundation, that's because when you're going through, now I want to go back through the writing. He said now it's written for to show, to teach me the different things. Then it's for me not quitting. So I already know. So you mean it's some things that'll make me quit? Yeah, that's why I wrote this, because you will quit. And I know what's going to keep you from quitting. You need to know there's some comfort behind it. There needs to be something to suit, because just like Abraham putting his son out, what was the comfort him? That's my son. I'm putting my son out. It's because I'm going to take care of that son. But this son is the one I told you I was going to do the promise with. This was the comfort to do it. You know what we do? You just jump out and do something and you don't see the end of it. So you might do it, but you do it lacking amanah. I kind of want to go, but I need to go and get. So guess what happened? Yahuwah said that man received nothing. Because you lack it. See, when Abraham did it, he didn't go sometimes say, be walking and say, everywhere I go, look like I can see Ishmael. Sometimes I just be want to just go and just ride by, just peek in the window. Just look at it. I ain't got to go in the house. Just peek in the window at it. You never hear any right why he said we're going back to Sam. He was done. That was his confidence, but let's be practical. You don't just have a confidence like that unless you have experience. See, when you read the writing can't detail everything, but let be practical. That's not normal that a person just take off and just do something without some experience. I have to know that's something you can do. It can't say, hey man, please do this. I'm finna, give me your phone, I'm finna pick you up. I ain't never seen you can. No, not me. You better grab somebody, grab one of them kids. I ain't never seen him do no stuff and mess around and drop me. Why would I? Why would I? I hadn't seen him do it before. Unless I had experience to watch him handle people heavier than me, situation bigger than mine, then I got the confidence. All day long I trust you. People say, you just don't trust me. Why would I? I don't have experience with you. That's the same thing has to happen with Yahuwah. Hearing the word is one thing, getting the experience, that's what creates the relationship. The relationship is created through experience. Just like when two people first go out, they're basically strangers.
Yeah.
We might talk on the phone, but what we say, well, let's see how this date go.
That's right.
You go straight in and tell my son, we're going to go out tomorrow too. Let's just get through this one.
That's right.
You're moving too fast. It might not be another day. I might call the police in that 5 minutes you keep asking. Let's get through this. Based on how the first day go, we can look at a second one. Then after a while, when we've done this and I got come, you just say, well, it's a steady thing. And that's because we built the relationship. We built confidence. I have a trust in you. You can know where I stay. I can know where you stay. You can come over to my house and get me. I can come. Versus we meet somewhere because I'm not sure. Now, once we get confident, guess what happens? You can come to my house. You ain't going to believe with Yahuwah how he worked out with us. I'll meet you somewhere. See, when we first met Yahuwah, we met him at Mount Sinai. He didn't bring us to his house. Did he take us to Shamayim?
No.
No, I'll meet you somewhere. He told you to draw nigh to me. I ain't tell you to come to my house. What you doing at my house? Call the police on you. You some kind of crackpot or something? I don't know. We need to build a relationship first.
That's right.
That's how once we build the relationship and the confidence is there to know what we'll do, guess what? Now I invite you to my house.
Right.
Look at in order for you to understand Ruach, which is spirituality, you have to understand it from a carnal level. We talk about, you only have 5 senses. There's no reason for him to operate in my life outside of 5 senses when it comes down to give me the knowledge. Because the only thing I can know are the things of a man. Just like I explained the relationship. That's what I know. I can't explain the relationship to a Ruach until I understand how a man works. When it comes down to our relationship with him, what does he refer to? What relationship? Husband and wife. Why don't he just refer to Ruach and Ruach being married? How did that work? Who have been to a Ruach wedding? 2 Ruachs in there getting married. Who have you ever seen it? So you can't comprehend it. So it's needful that you have. Do I have to get a check for you? That boy ain't nothing crazy. That's your seed. They ain't her seed calling that problem. Come on, get a check. My brother just called. He said, I'm gonna tell you something else too. He said, before you go out with Jeff in here, he said, it's gonna be a baby gonna make some noise. That's gonna be the white seed. He said, yeah. So now, when we look at how these relationships are formulated and how they're created and how we come together in order to create. Oh, you got one of them? Oh, that's good. So how we understand how we come together to create, then we understand the relationship he's trying to create with us. Y'all got it? So it's important to understand how things work around us. Y'all got it? And understand the correlations of them so we understand the relationship. Come get another check. My brother said it's going to be one of them. There's always one in the crowd, ain't it? Troublemaker. So now, that's why when we're reading, we're trying to look at all these different things that we deal with on a natural basis. And he gives us that so we know he understands, okay? So there's 53. What's that? Now he want to know who has believed.
Our message.
That's right.
And to whom has the arm of Yahuwah been revealed?
Now he asked you this. Is that the first question he asked you? Well, let me ask y'all, let me say this. Remember now, he declared the end at the beginning. See, what'll get you and what throw you out, because you read chapter and verse, but it's all one writing. He just asked you that. He asked who has believed our report. Now he just asked you a second question. Well, what was the second part?
And to whom has the arm of Yahuwah been revealed?
So let's put something together. First thing he asked you, who believed it? Let me ask y'all a question. Why you think them people ain't believe it? Thank you, kind sir. They ain't seen nothing. What have I seen to believe? Let's be practical. He asked them, who believed it? Then he said, well, who done seen it? Let's see what he told in the 52nd chapter. We just back it up a little bit. 52:14, I think it is. Let's see what it says. See, what I adore of Yahuwah is the fact of He allows us that. You know, when I served in Christianity, I didn't realize the importance of understand. I thought I understood because, you know, you say Jesus, you remember. I used to remember scripture. Listen, I used to be a reader. I used to read, listen, I knew what side of the page it fall on. I'd be flipping and going. My memory was like, I had a memory. I knew where it was. I could do it. But the comprehension I lacked. So I took that knowing what things were, it was knowledge. But all I did was just kind of learn to memorize. When I come into what I traded in for now is an understanding. I used to hear years ago when YashaYahu would say, who they called Paul, his name is YashaYahu, he said, I would rather speak 5 words with understanding than 10,000 have no understanding. So I remembered all that, but I didn't understand it. I could tell you what it said. It said what it said. A lot of it I couldn't understand, but now I'm able to dissect and consider. Like he said, who has believed our report? Then it's got to be a reason why. Why are you asking this? Then he answered, well, who's seen it? Of course, so that's seeing is believing. Remember, Lamed is to teach, to show, and to instruct. People need to see. Now, he just told us a child going to be born, and the government going to be on his shoulder. But why would we believe it when we hadn't seen it? You're saying he's saved, but I'm looking at, I'm still in distress. You're asking me to believe a lot of things that's outside of normality for me as a person. Typically, when somebody say they're like, Empire safe, and I'm on first base. You're thinking, safe? I ain't even made it around to the plate. I know you're thinking, that's crazy. What just happened? It'll throw the game out winning, Uncle Ted. You watch, and the man on first base, and the Empire talking about, I'm talking about for home. He coming to home run. They're saying the man ran in. You're thinking, how you do that? The man just made first base. I already know he's gonna make it. But see, you don't see it. You hadn't seen it. And so that's what we start to build confidence off of when he says something. That's why it's important to follow him to see he's done what he said. Y'all hold you got quick. 22:19 of the book of Bamadbar, they call Numbers. Right quick, we'll come back over there. We still got 52:14 of YashaYahu. Bamadbar is the word, it means wilderness, not numbers. I don't know why they did that. I think they used numbers because they look at they was in the wilderness for 40 years, but it actually refers to what it was. Location, this is geological location for them. 22:19. Listen.
Now please, you also stay here this Layla, and I shall know what more Yahuwah shall speak to me.
No. Elohim is not a man that he should lie. That's not 22:19. What am I wanting? 22:20. I thought it was 23. 23:19. 23:19. 23:19. That's what I want. 21. 23:19. Or 22. 23:19. Listen.
All is not a ish that he should kazab.
Y'all hear what he said? All, Elohim, short for Elohim, is not a ish. He's not a man that he should kazab, that he should lie. What else is he?
Nor a being of Adam.
Not as he born of man, of Adam.
That he should repent.
So see, we're talking about the Ruachni part. Sometimes people use this to try to justify that Yahushua is not the being of Elohim. He tell you about Elohim for Elohim is not a ish. So it's a lot of things we have to do. You do it because that's flesh. Elohim said he don't lie. He said, neither am I born of Adam that I had to repent. Adam had to repent, and all the benim of Adam have to repent. He let you know, I'm not born of Adam.
That's
Adam
right.
was born of me. I have no reason to repent. So has he did what?
Said,
and
shall he not do it?
A lot of times we say stuff we can't do it. We have to say, if Yahuwah will. He'll never have to say something and say, if I will. If I said it, he said, that's what I'm going to do. So this is building our confidence in him. Or has he did what?
Spoken.
And has he what?
Not make it too.
See, he said, when I did it, he said, when I spoke, he said, didn't I make it right? Didn't I make it good? What you did? Behold what?
I have received to Barak.
See that? He gave him an amar to Barak, which would bestow a benefit or a gift. And what did he do, son?
And when he has Baraka, then I cannot revoke it.
You hear what he said? So when he's done it, he said, I can't change it. That was to get him confident that a man can't come along and change what he already done designated for you. See, a lot of times you'll feel like somebody, some single person or some group of people hold your destiny or hold your fate in their hands, and they don't. It's all by him. You needed to know that. So if a person came up and they sentenced you to death, they can only do it because he allowed it. They didn't do it themselves. They only did it because he did it. When Pelotus, who they call Pilate, his name is Pelotus, he asked him and told him about what he could do. He had the power to release him or power to put him down. He said, you couldn't have no authority over me and all except he give it to you.
That's right.
Now, he put out of his mouth, he looked at him as a ruler, as an emperor. I could do that. He said, man, I can let you go right now. He said, I could demand that you be killed. He said, you don't have no authority over me except they be giving you from Shaman. Confidence. So now when people they have something against you, a supervisor, somebody from human resources, somebody, whoever it might be, somebody of you. So they got that power because they got it on their own?
No.
They got it because he gave it to them.
That's right.
So when you come into the knowledge of that information, then you learn how to deal with certain things before you always try to come back and combat and fight some things. Let's wait and see how it way out. Sometimes he could harden, like he did with Pharaoh. He told Musa to go and tell him to let him go. What did Pharaoh say?
Who is Yahuwah?
First off, he wanted to show you something. So you know we look at the people who he'll change, the people that know him.
Yeah.
What was the purpose when he sent him in the 5th chapter when he went and told him to let him? He said, thus save Yahuwah. He said, let his arm go, let his being go, his son. He said, who is Yahuwah that I should obey?
That's right.
So when you go to your job and tell them something that you have to do based off the word of Yahuwah and they don't know him, now you crash. See, they don't only work for people that know him. He said, no. He said, when you go, he said, he's not going to let you go.
That's right.
He let him know before he went. He's going to say no.
Right.
Because I harden his. So when your supervisor don't let you do it, it's because your supervisor don't believe. Your supervisor sin, they're going to burn in hell.
Yahuwah hardened the law.
Yahuwah hardened the law. And I want to show you how because I also break them down.
Mm-hmm.
That same person had to come back who didn't know me, they're going to acknowledge me when I break them down. But you would rather fight, take it to the bitter end, tug it out with them instead of just watch how I make that person turn back and have to come back to you. Mm-hmm. But guess what we do? We already done quit. Mm-hmm. We already done let that, listen, we done gave that supervisor every word out the cussing about and created 5 more. Because we had to tell them, they don't know Elohim either. Oh, they got to get this. And we threatened to kill them.
That's right.
Now you got a charge.
That's right.
That person don't know Elohim. For some reason, they know 911 in the court system.
That's right.
And now you finna go to jail.
That's right.
And now you're going to blame this on Elohim. Had you fought for me, he said, had you shut your mouth.
That's right.
Had you went over there and heard Tony Smith tell you, we wouldn't be dealing with this right now.
That's right.
But the supervisor not the problem, you the problem.
That's right.
So we see, but all this, I can say now, because we learn. That's because we start learning from the different experiences we have. If you don't have these experiences, how you going to know? So let's say 52:14 right quick. YashaYahu. Hold on, did I get Bamadbar? Oh yeah, we did that.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
52:14. YashaYahu, they call Isaiah. Make it 12, let's see. Might be what I want right now. Let's see. All right, listen what he told him.
For you shall not go out in haste,
Yes.
nor shall you go by flight.
What happened?
For Yahuwah shall go before you, and the all of Yasharal gathers you.
So why would he tell them I ain't gonna go out in haste? Hands. I got Ryan first. Did the hallway get it? Ryan first. We don't know why he said they shouldn't go out. See, this is stuff, I'm just reading. You need to stop reading and start getting intelligent. Why did he just tell them to go out in haste? Come on, tell me why they said that, Ryan. That's right. The night they came out of Mitzrayim, they called Egypt. When they left there, they had to go in a hurry. That's why we eat unleavened bread. He said because they didn't have time for it to rise. They didn't have time to bake it for it to rise up. So that's how we eat unleavened bread, symbolizing that they came out in haste. They came out with their bowls in their hands and their stuff on their back because they had to leave in a hurry. Now YashaYahu saying Yahuwah saved, and he just told, guess what, Ryan? Guess what? He just told you ain't gonna have to hurry up. You ain't gonna have to hurry up and just grab what you can and go.
Come on. Yes, sir.
You ain't got to go out because somebody chasing you.
Come on.
Remember, Pharaoh followed. See, people read, they're not trying to understand.
That's right.
They tell me, I need to get down to Jesus. Shut up. You need to get the Banah. Banah is understanding.
Yes, sir.
So y'all see why it makes it? You're talking to a people that have knowledge of what? How we came out Mizraim. So if we're getting ready to leave, we're going to be saved. Surely we just got to grab what we can and go. Surely we're going to have people chasing us, trying to kill us. He said, oh, no. He said, you're not going to go out here in no hurry. And you ain't going out because nobody going to be chasing you. Listen.
Behold, my abad shall prosper.
See that? Because now he's trying to let you know what to look for from who he going to give you.
Right.
See, before, remember, we had the lamb. We had to use the blood. put it up. All these things, what we looked at, we used before. He said, now I'm going to tell you how this is going to work out. Because remember, the man who's telling you that his name is, he's saved.
That's right.
So what will we know? When he said that before, how were we saved? We used the dumb on the doorpost. He used all the plagues, the signs and wonders, and we had to leave in a hurry, and we had to leave by Layla, which was by night.
Right.
We were being pursued.
Right.
So already we put in our mind, he finna deliver. I got to get ready, man. I got to get my knife. I got to get. What you doing? Trying to make sure I can get my eye open wide so it be dark and I can see. He said, no, you're not gonna have to work. It's not gonna work like that.
Come on.
And all right, get here sharp, gotta make sure everybody got their staff. We left before we had our staff.
Yes,
we
sir.
had to use it to lead them out. That's what a shepherd. To lead them out, and you also use it for defense.
That's right.
He said, that's not how you leave it. Listen.
Behold, my abad shall prosper.
See, now look what hell. He said, my abad is gonna prosper, my servant, my slave.
Yes, sir.
That's what an abad is, or work. He said his work gonna prosper. Listen, remember Yahushua said, I must work the work of him. Abad is also work.
That's
work,
right.
Slave. You need to know that. So his work gonna prosper.
Yes, sir.
Listen.
He shall be high and lifted up.
Listen what he said. He shall be high and lifted up. What happened?
Greatly exalted.
Ooh, and he's gonna be greatly exalted. So we should have been looking for somebody who's gonna be high. They looking at high ranking. No, we should be looking at high lifted up because he was gonna be on the 2.
Yes, sher.
See, this all symbolism.
That's right.
Behold my servant, he gonna be high. So we already looking at what typically when a person high, where then you said that guy there or that lady, she in a high position. Which means they have an authority. But this guy here, he tell you about his servant. We already heard that he was gonna be the governor. Now we done heard he gonna be high. He said he gonna be extolled. He gonna be high. So we look at when they put him on the 2. He said, he gonna be very high. That's why they put him on. They crucified on a skull, the place of a skull, which was a rock that looked like a human skull here.
Right.
Listen.
Just as many were astonished at you.
Listen.
So his appearance was
Let's
away.
look up astonish. Let's look up what astonished is. They just told us, just like people were astonished that you need to know what it is. He didn't say you were stunting. That's when a nigga flexing.
That's right.
Astonish. Look. Surprise or impress someone greatly. That's what it was with you. Remember, everybody knew about you when you came out of Mizraim.
Right.
People were astonished at you. You impressed a lot of people. The Elohim, YashaYahu, Abraham, and Yahuchanan, he delivered you and brought you out.
That's right.
They were impressed.
That's right.
And people were listening. They was impressed with what happened to you. He said they're going to be impressed when they sing it. Y'all hear that? Basically, he just told you everybody was going to be iron. They're going to press. They're going to be, don't worry, iron man going to impress. I take it on the road, now they're going to pay me. When y'all see me on TV, don't be trying to run out to my, I know that guy. I don't know you. Just be impressed.
That's right.
So it said surprise or impress someone greatly. So now he told us so all these were symbols. This is what's called ots. Ots are signs. So now when I told you about it, these were key things you should have picked up about it. Now his servant, remember, he's going to be a child. So should we been looking for a grown man to just walk up?
No, sir.
We should have been looking at a baby being born.
Right.
We should have been looking at a position of this baby. We should have been looking at the baby's name, because it's going to be Wonderful Counselor. All these different things, the mighty Elohim, he's going to be a part of Elohim. We talked about before, commensal, C-O-M-M-E-N-S-A-L, commensal, being able to exist with or inside of without taking or injuring anything.
That's right.
So we found out that Yahushua was commensal when it came down to Yahuwah, which means he told us that he came out where? From the Abba. He said, I came out from him, meaning while I was in him, I did not injure him, nor did I take anything from him. This is typically we talk about is a scientific word, ecology, which means this is a branch of science. So that when you look at different funguses, herbs, you look at animals, different things, how they can function inside of one another without injuring or taking anything from the other. Y'all got it?
Yes, sir.
This is what he tried to show us how to do, and he tried to teach us to do the same thing. YashaYahu was supposed to be commensal. We all inhabited the same place.
That's right.
What you think the two, let me see. Thou should not steal. Who this supposed to be from? That means we can exist with each other. I don't take nothing from you. I mean you can exist. Thou should not commit adultery. He married, I'm married. He don't mess with my wife. I don't mess with his wife. Guess what we are? We're commit. We're surviving, existing with one another without taking anything from one another.
Right.
his manservant, his maidservant. I wasn't supposed to kazab, was not supposed to tell a lie because this is going to injure our relationship.
Right.
That's the purpose of why he gave you 5 out of 10. 5 was for him. The first 5 were his. The second 5 was for you.
Yeah.
The first 5 taught you how to be commensurate with him. Don't have no other Elohim besides me. The Shabbat, remember it. Zakat, mark it, remember it, and guard it.
Right.
And keep it kudash. Keep it separate. That day is supposed to be separate from all the other days. Y'all got it? All these things he told you supposed to do, you weren't supposed to bow down, you weren't supposed to worship anything. All these things he told you to do because this is how you and I exist without me injuring you or you injuring me. Then I told you how to exist with one another without injuring one another. That makes sense to y'all? Yes, sir. I don't know, y'all looking around like, I don't know, like the preacher going crazy. I want to make sure we got it.
Yes, sir.
I spent a lot of years in Christianity in church, and you realize all you were doing just reciting. The Lord of my shepherd, I shall not want. He made me lie down. So what? Stop. What are you talking about? The Lord of my shepherd. No. I didn't ask you what you said. Explain to me what you said. The Lord of my shepherd, I shall not want. This is all we've been doing, recited. No understanding. We've been lacking it. Do you not know this man said, that makes you worthy of death when you lack understanding? But not because that means you don't know what you're doing. And you know how many people are convinced of, baby, just go and pray. You're going to die. That's not going to help you. When Philip met the eunuch in the book of Acts, the 8th chapter, Acts of the Shalakeen, they call it Shalakeen sent one. When he asked them, do you understand what you're reading? He said, how can I? Why he didn't say, I'm just going to pray over it? He said, how can I accept that each guide me?
That's right.
Which is nakah, lead or guide me. You got to have a man. He said, how can I accept he lead or guide me? And guess what he did? He said, throw that book away. I'm going to tell you everything. He started at the same writing, and that's what he taught me.
Yes, sir.
I don't want these folks get away, just throw it away and trust them. No. Let me explain to you right here what that means.
Yes, sir.
Isn't that right?
That's right.
Then the man wanted to be immersed because he had an understanding now. What's keeping me from being immersed? What's stopping me from being accepted? He said, you just got to believe.
Come on.
Guess what YashaYahu just asked you?
Who has Amon?
Guess what's stopping you?
Amon.
You hadn't believed. Let's finish this up. Listen, just as many were, now looking up astonished, don't that make sense? Now when you look at it, you know what it's saying?
That's right.
Impressed by. Listen, it's just like they were impressed at you.
Yes, sir.
So his appearance
was away from any Ish and his form from the Bani of Adam.
Let's see.
Thus shall sprinkle many Goyim.
See that? Now he's going to sprinkle many Goyim. Now, this is something important. What are we going to look at from there? Got one beat y'all. Bishop beat you. Hold on, let me get him right. Let me see what he's saying. What you got? Yeah, he's right. When Musha sprinkled the people. See, that's important. See, what happens when when this was established, remember, this what we said, a marriage is considered called a covenant, okay? In that covenant, if you notice, what's supposed to happen, what doesn't happen today normally, that when the man marries a woman, he was supposed to marry what's known as a Beth Ula. That means she's ripe for sex. We use it for virgin because she hadn't had sex, but a Beth Ula means that she's ripe for sex. That means her time, her seed, just like when you pick something. See, we learn that from nature. It's ripe to be. You go, somebody pick up a green peach. A green peach, I can tell you, that means it's ripe. That means leave it alone. Don't call that Beth Ula. It's not. When that peach started to get the fuzz, it get the red on it, it started to get itself plump, and you see it, guess what? It's ripe, so we'll call it Beth Ula. That is ripe for the picking. Y'all got it? So now when the man went in, his penis acts as a sword. When you insert a sword into a human being, what typically happens? Blood, where the blood gonna be at? It's gonna be on the sword. So on the man's penis, and he would break the matrix, stop being the hymen. So she break the hymen, she would bleed, so she would have a blanket that her father gave her, the Abba. That blanket would have the blood. That blood would be proof that she was Beth Ula, that she was ripe for sex. If she could not produce the dam on the blanket, she was not Beth Ula. After this, she would defile. So this is the thing we looked at. So when Musha had taken the people, and when he had read every precept, right? He took the blood, and he took hyssop, and he sprinkled the people. and enjoying them. He put it on every, that's the same thing you do when a man sleep with a woman, she's a virgin. She should produce blood, so he put it on all the people. Because now he told you, this has just enjoined you. You ain't gonna believe what the preacher said when he get a man and woman once they get the vow. I now, yeah, they're pronounced, and he joined them. So now you join. You're connected together now. And that dom is symbolism to it. That's why he comes back, and this is why we had a destruction. See, the only reason why we were dispersed, and he didn't disperse other people, because they weren't part of the covenant. Okay, if my wife do something according to the Torah, I can put Lanita away. Hold on for a minute. I'm married though. Why I can't put Lanita away? Because there's no covenant with me and you. I put away the person I have the covenant with. Make sense? So when it comes down to he said who he's going to destroy, who he's going to get, I'm going to get the people I have the covenant with. Now the people he's going to come back and get now are going to be the people that were contributors in breaking the Berith. Okay, let's see how that works, so you'll understand. If a man was caught lying with a wife that was betrothed, that means she was promised to be married to somebody else, you kill that man and the woman. You ain't going to believe it. We've been betrothed to somebody. So when Yahuwah come back here and we don't play with the other gods and all these people, you ain't gonna believe who he gonna get. Man walk in the house, he catch his wife in the bed with another man. What he gonna do? Typically he gonna kill both of them. Typically gonna kill both of them. Now I know a guy now, he walked in the house, he said, I'm telling you, he walked in the house. Man, he was crazy. What we call him? Back then, we'd call him shot to hell. And that's the guy, remember, he said, that's shot to hell. I said, shot to hell. I said, well, that was a name right there. And then we were talking one day. He pulled up there. He said, he just pulled up on there. He just started talking. He said, man, I'll tell you what happened, man. He said, man, I came home, man. He said, man, my old lady's in that man with another man. He's out walking now. I said, man, don't even worry about it. She do this all the time. He said, she gonna be going. He said, man, just gonna leave. She don't want me to go nowhere. He said, I shot him. He said, I tried to tell the man to leave. He said, I don't know what he was thinking. I told him, man, she used to, man, gonna leave. He said, look at her talk. She don't want me to go nowhere. He says, I just shot him. Shot to hell was crazy. He said, I wasn't gonna bother. He said, because she do it all the time. I was used to her doing that. You see what I'm saying? But now we start looking on the other end, typically with how he looks at it is, I'm gonna blame both parties. So you gotta remember, you're a part of a berith, a covenant. He's going to get you because you broke the berith, the covenant, and he's going to get those that help institute you to do it. That's why you got to be mindful of the relationship. That's why you get, how you think I'm able to explain the relationship about a man killing both parties? Because you know this out here in nature. So now you correlate to why he's coming back and he's going to be angry, because you were promised to me and you were supposed to be kept. And now you weren't kept. That's why we look at chase. Chase is kept, something kept. Y'all got it? And we come back, you're not chased, then I'm going to kill you, and I'm going to kill who caused you not to be in the state you're supposed to be in because of our berith, our agreement. Y'all got it? Okay, let's finish this up. So now y'all understand that? Thus he shall sprinkle.
Many Goyim.
So how you going to say it's just going to be only the Yahudim? Many Goyims are many nations. Those are different cultures. We know that because he brought them out of Mizraim. It wasn't just YashaYahu. The book, because we had to tell you in the 13th chapter of the book of Alaph, they call Exodus, that we came out of mixed multitude. So who got sprinkled?
Everybody.
So this is, see, in order for me to believe that, I have to believe it based off of something he's done before. I can't just create my own belief. I tell you about me, my belief, he's just gonna save everybody. Based off of what? Mm-hmm. I have writings to justify that we came out of a mixed multitude, and when we came out of mixed multitude, you only heard that called mixed multitude one time. They were all referred to as the Benim or Yasharal.
That's right.
Guess why? Because now we understand it's a thing called
engrafting.
Grafting. That's when you take something and you join it together. That's what grafting is. When you engraft, you bring two things and you join. So he took all these different goyim and said, I just make them one. Mm. And who told us about it first? Hands. Okay, we had you one time. Let me see who else ain't got it. All right, I'm going to give it to him. Hold on. Let's get Morpheus. Close your eye, I'm going to find out. Just close your eye for a second. Don't cheat. Come on, close your eye. How many of y'all said Morpheus is going to get it wrong? All right, put him down. I believe in him. All right, Morpheus, come on. He got it right. He's Adam and Ka'ur.
That's right.
Who they call Eve. If her name was Eve, her name would have been Summer. So in Massaly. Summer Eve, Massaly. No, her name is Ka'ur. Her name means life giver. Yeah. So Ku'ur means life giver. Okay, that's what we look at a woman. You're Ku'ur, you give life. So when he told her, he said the two
shall be one.
That's what he told you. The two are gonna be one. So that's how we learned about engrafting from them. So it wasn't hard for us to understand that the two shall be one. Y'all got it. So when he talked about coming, bringing them back together, that shouldn't have been hard because the two were gonna be one. So when Yahushua talked, he came back to tell us that he was gonna go back. He in the 17th chapter of the book of Yahuchanan, they called John, which means Yahuwah is gracious. He told them that he wanted the Yahuwah to make him one as they was before. So he wanted to come back to a state of what it was. The two was gonna be one. Y'all got it. He wanted to go back to an estate that they had previously. That's what Adam could see. He looked at this is not impossible because you came out from me, so the two can be one. Y'all got it. He told you why. He said because the woman came out from the man. So when Yahushua explained that he was going back to the Abba, how hard would it for us to believe it? Because the woman came out from the man. Hello? But see, when you dealing with Ruach things, he knew we need to know how things work in nature, how things naturally work and coexist. So you could have an idea of the premise he was trying to get us to comprehend when it came down his relationship and the relationship with the Son. Can we look at what the word relationship means? Please. Are y'all learning anything?
Yes, sir.
Relationship. The way in which two or more concepts, objects, or people are
connected.
Or the state of being connected. That's what you want to look at, relationship. How you connect with Yahuwah. It's a relationship. You think about relationship, typically when I say relationship, most of y'all start thinking about people dating.
That's true.
Because you don't look at it in other form. But when you look at it, it's basically the way in which two or more concepts, object, or people connect. That's what we look at. This is a relationship. But you got to be able to connect, right? So like with a puzzle, you can try to force a piece, but it don't connect. The right piece falls right into place. Guess what happens? Things you're trying to get him to do for you, when you get the right piece and you become the right piece, things fall right into place, and you don't have to force them. I used to put puzzles together when I was little. I like puzzles with a PB that big.
Yes, sir. That's right.
That thing, I had a cuss, you to get them 1,000-something pieces. I was, man, you got time to put that junk. Hey, man, you be here all year.
That's right.
Listen, I get that puzzle piece. This thing dumb. You
That's
throw
right.
it after about number 6, you get a night up, look foot. You man throw this junk in the garbage. That piece is missing. You be like, man, that piece is missing.
That's
it's
right.
because you got to really sit down and you got to do a lot of different trying. Then you start to look and consider what really fits here. When you find it, then you start seeing what other pieces connect together. Well, that's the same thing with Yahuwah, but a lot of times we don't put the effort in to see how it connects. We just give up on it and let go of it. That's why I had to tell you it's a reward behind it. Come on. Come on, figure this out.
Thus he shall sprinkle, meaning Goyim, Malakym shall shut their paw on account of him. For what had not been told to them, they shall see, and what they had not shama, they shall.
Hands.
Benah.
Hands. Hands. What connect? Give me a relationship. Hands. That's tight. That's tight. What connect? Uh-oh, I got one back there. All right, Baj, you can't look. Right answer. Hold on, Baj, you can't look. Close your eye. I got to get a vote. Right answer, wrong answer. How about right answer? Wrong answer. All right. Come on, we all together. Let's go, Boston. Come on, Boston. Boston, wake up. All right, who you got? It's out there. So all these people got to check. No, what y'all should have looked at, remember, everything has relationship. They all connect, concept. Remember when Solomon, he was the wisest of all we had.
Yes.
And one reason why we was able to find and improve it, when the Malkah came from Sheba.
Oh, yeah.
Her name was not Sheba. Her name is the Malkah. A woman is an empress. We can't have a queen. You look up the etymology of a queen, it refers to a homosexual. Do not let a man call you a queen. It refers to a transsexual. So we don't do that. We let them have, it's called a Malkah. A Malkah is a woman, that's an empress for a woman. When she came to hear the wisdom of Solomon, she said it hadn't been told.
That's right.
She started about how great it was because she had heard of it, but she came to see it. That's what we would tell. See, when y'all reading, you have to know how to place set things. Remember, relationship. Why is he telling them? What are they comparing this to? Listen. he gonna shut the mouth of these Malcolm, remember? Because he had to go and see Herod.
That's right.
And he had to go see Pelotus. Herod was a emperor. Pelotus, who they call Pilate, was a governor. He stopped their mouth. They didn't know what he asked her, what is true? He didn't know what listen, Yahushua shut his mouth. Why y'all think he said, I find no fault? If I find no fault, he was through examining. He shut his mouth. When Herod finally got him, Herod wanted to see him, he sent him right back to Pelotus. I can't do anything with it. He shut my mouth. Now he's trying to tell you something about this man. Listen, on his account, for what had not been told to them, they shall see. And what they had not heard, they shall understand. Let's see something. See that the 10th chapter of the book of Alaph Malakym. They call it First Kings, but it's Alaph, First Emperors. See that the 10th chapter, I'm thinking, see that the 17th verse maybe? Let me see that one. Maybe I'm down too low. Let's see. Alaph for the first. Malakym. Emperors. 10. What's that? 17? Might be 9. We'll find it. Let's see. I need to go back up to 9. Where I need to go? Am I too far down? Should have been the 10th chapter, isn't it? What verse are they? Down further? Yeah. Is that why I'm in? So go up to that 6. Let's see. Let's see. All right, give me 4. Give me 4. Let me see. 4. 24, okay. Well, I might need to go for home. Let's see there. This is 10. This is Alaph Malakym, 1 Kings 10 and 4. Listen.
When the Malkah of Sheba perceived.
Listen, see that. You know what the folks tell you? This when we know people can't think. Why they tell y'all the woman named Sheba? They just told she was the Malkah of Sheba.
That's
Sheba
right.
is the place where she reigned at. How many of y'all been told her name, the Queen of Sheba? Because see, you ain't listening. They're telling you the place. They tell you her position. They tell you where she ruled at. That is not her name. It never gave you her name. This place that they tell you Sheba is believed to be around Yemen or Somalia. You didn't know that, did you?
Yes.
I know it because they gave you a name today. Listen, part of throwing you off is by giving you names now and change the place. So guess why? When you read, you're supposed to believe all this is a figment of your imagination. Because where is Sheba at? Oh, there isn't a town called Sheba. You're right, because when the oppressors came in, they changed the name of land. Like Egypt, there's no place called Egypt. It's called Mitzrayim. They changed the name of the region. So that way, when you read it, it's all just an illusion. Listen, it's just like the fairy tale, because it don't exist. It's the boom boom room. It's all in your mind. You know what I'm saying? It's all in your mind. You know, like I said in the Bible, as a man think of something like that, you know, in the Bible, you read the Bible. So that's how they get you, make a fool out of you. But the place Sheba, that they call Sheba, is believed to be Yemen or Somalia. Let me tell you what's amazing about that. These are two countries that stay in constant conflict. You know why they stay in constant conflict? So you won't desire to go there. That's not the only place. Lebanon. Your region actually went into Lebanon. Most of these folks are dumb. They don't even know. If you look at your borders, your border was all the way through Lebanon. Beirut belongs to YashaYahu. Why would somebody supposed to be a quote-unquote Jew be in Lebanon? He should be in Israel. Because they gave you your borders after they took you over and moved you out of your place. They changed the name, so why would you know? He clearly told you that your border ran all the way through Lebanon. It ran all the way to the Euphrates.
That's right.
The water was your borders. These people went on here and fought. Why y'all think these people let y'all went and fought in Iraq? You were captive in Mosul. Why you think they destroyed it? You think they really cared about Saddam Hussein? They cared about people reading these books and start doing timelines and looking at, I was here. Let me tell you something else you don't go to. Lebanon. These were to meet Cyrus, who they told you his name was Cyrus. His name is Chorus. He was from that area. He was from Iran. Why y'all think every place you've been, they keep in conflict? That way you won't go. You were in Iran. Why you think we keep running? Because you was in Iran. Every time you see what? What is like? Hey, listen. To prove you've been there before. Prove you've been there. They said, man, I was at a party. Man, them niggas started shooting. What you do? You said, man, I ran. See, you've been there before. Now, I can't keep teaching all this information like this. This is a lot now. But think about it. When you ever heard people color saying, hey, let's go on Vegas, let's go to Iran.
No.
Let's go to Iraq. You thinking,
No.
man, go to create them people Muslim. That's what they put there to replace to keep you out. Mosul is where Nineveh was. Nineveh, remember, they can't be there but the devil because he just sent Unit to go there to warn them to repent. But they got you believing everybody Muslim. That's how they beat you out. This was in Iraq. They don't teach our people nothing. They don't want you, what you do that. I go to any Christian church, I say, stop what y'all doing, put Jesus in your pocket. Let's put up a screen and let's go over there. We'll look all this up. It won't be nothing out my mouth. And you know what they're going to say? God done showed me that man the devil. That's amazing. Because we just going to fact check everything. These people don't sit down and fact check. They just start shoot stuff out their mouth. And you going to believe it? Why we just can't look at it if it's right? I can't believe it for the life of me. For years, and I go back and look at it. These people got us. Look at him. Look at him. Malakym. That's what it is. That's a woman empress of Sheba. Perceived all the
Kakma.
of Shalama.
The Beth that he had built.
Come on.
The food of his table, the seating of his abadim, the attendance of his waiters in their attire, his cupbearers, and his stairway by which he went up to the Beth of Yahuwah. There was no more ruach in her.
It emptied her out. Listen.
That's right.
It emptied her. Listen.
Then she said to the Malak,
what did she say?
It is an Amat report, which I shama in my own
That's a true report?
arats.
What did she hear?
Which I shama in my own arats about your dabarim and about your kakma.
What happened?
And I did not among the dabarim.
Until what?
Until I came and my own had seen it.
Your eyes had seen it?
Yes, sir.
And what happened?
And behold.
And do what?
And behold.
And let go?
And behold.
Behold what?
The half was not told me.
You ain't gonna believe it. YashaYahu asked a question. Who had believed our report? What did she just tell y'all? She couldn't believe it until she seen it.
That's
and
right.
And Yahuwah said, you're gonna see this one.
That's right.
You're going to hear it and you're going to see it. See, that's why I hard. But see, these folks believe something. They can't prove nothing they believe.
That's right.
They don't want to prove it because it ain't about that. I don't owe Tony Swift nothing. I ain't say you owe me nothing. Listen, you're asking me to give up a way of life, okay, that I've known and that I was comfortable with. Conviction came about everything I was doing. I changed. It's got to be a rationale why. Why am I giving up a way of life to take on a way that you're saying I need to live and my way is wrong? Based upon, he said, let's look at your experiences. Where has this ever led you to? Where are you at now? Because you're at a situation state where you're talking with me. You're considering my way, which already show there's some flaws in your way. There's some defects in your armor. So I need to know that if I walk away and give up what I'm doing, I'm not just going to be at a loss. I'm not going to be just left out here somewhere looking like a fool saying, you've been tricked. You made a fool out of yourself. You could have stayed with what you're in. So he gives me this information to go back and look over and see people that have done it your way. They hadn't made it. Look at where you're at. And people want to fix a live relationship versus taking on responsibility. Listen, it works if you desire for it to work. This don't work for people who still kind of, ain't too bad. It ain't working.
Ain't gonna work.
You got to see yourself for what y'all.
That's right.
Very bad.
That's right.
I had to see myself in the worst state and have no confidence in
That's
myself.
right.
That's the only way it works. Let me tell you what you do. As long as you're doing it and you got a little confidence in yourself,
it ain't gonna
you'll
work.
never fully comply.
Nope.
Because you still feel like you got some right. You still feel like you got some good.
Yep.
Even the good you did, it wasn't no good.
That's
Even
right.
Yarash took all your righteousness like a filthy rag.
That's right.
Because you don't submit yourself to the full compliance of his right. You pick and choose. Oh, you know what? I never did this. Oh, you know, I would never do this. But he said, when you did this, you were already guilty of that.
That's right.
I mean, how many folks claim to fame? You know what, man? Ain't never been no sissy. Well, he look at, but you was a liar.
Right.
You ain't gonna believe it. He said, sissy.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I never did do no drugs. The same thing as a smoker.
Yep.
All these things, he look at all of them the same. When you commit qatar, all unrighteousness, he said, is qatar.
Come on, that's right.
Qatar means you missed the mark. That means a standard was. Remember, he told you, behold my servant, Mount Bar. Where he gonna be?
Be high.
And high.
Exalted, very
He ain't
high.
gonna be, that's where the mark at. So when you don't come in, when you come in,
Missed the mark.
you miss the mark. See, he give you something else. This the mark he said. He said he gonna be very high. Light the guy. Where light the guy at?
Sheol.
You missed the mark. See, that's the premise. When you understand the concept of what he's telling you about Qatar and how he raised it, it means my servant, my bard, the man working with me, he set a standard. And everybody that comes in under him, you missed the mark. You missed the mark. That's why it left you an example that you should follow his steps. Who did know he never missed the mark, neither was guile
found in the mouth.
no deceit. See, we deceived him. All our stuff was deceit. We deceived the people. Deceit didn't come. They're not fully ready to comply. You deceiving me. I thought you were ready. You deceived. Guys will get girls and say, what we do all that for? You teasing me.
Yeah.
He looking at it. Why you do all this? I thought you was ready.
Right.
I thought you was ready to comply. I thought you was ready to go all the way now.
That's right.
So, come on, finish this. I'll get y'all going. Come on. Listen what else he taught.
You exceed in Kakma and prosperity, the fame which I shama.
Oh, wait a minute. He's somewhere else. Oh, okay. You exceed in Kakma was Kakma and prosperity, the fame which I heard. Let's go back to what we got right quick. I just want y'all to see the parallel. So you can see, so people who knew the Torah, they knew. That's why you don't know, because you don't know the Torah. So when you hearing it, you just keep going. You looking, I'm trying to find Jesus. I'm trying to, just stop it. He told you, Yahushua said, Lo, I come in the volume of the book. The purpose of you seeing a Ben that came from Daoud having so much wisdom, and you knew this one was going to excel him. Like she said, even when she saw, she said a half ain't even been told. You can only imagine. Now, this is how it worked with Yahushua. Let's go with him. So when she came and she seen it, what wasn't told? Half. That means what she seen, there was another equal amount. Correct? Okay, when it came down to Yahushua, Yahuchanan said many other things Yahushua did that were not written.
Yeah.
He said, I suppose it was written, the whole world couldn't contain it.
Right.
How you compare that with half ain't been told?
That's right.
He said the world couldn't contain
world.
it. How much did he do?
Wow.
When she came there and seen it, she said half wasn't told when she seen it. What you think about what he did when they said the world itself couldn't contain it, if every one of them was written what he did? I told you he'll impress you. You're astonished, huh?
Yes, sir.
You're astonished. Come on, listen up. What we at, 52:15?
Reread, want me to reread it?
Huh? Who don't get no check no more? What happened? I just quoted, and they don't get no check no more. Oh, you said you need a check, but come on. My brother told me about that. He told that. My brother said, when somebody started talking about how many checks now, he said, make sure they get one too. But I ain't think nobody would do it for real. You know how you folks tell you stuff, you don't believe it. You ain't gonna believe it. I ain't believe it. I couldn't even believe it. Half wasn't told. Hey, come on, fit that. 52 and 15. Listen to this.
Thus he shall sprinkle, meaning
This gonna
Gawain.
make you better.
Malakym shall shut their paw
You said so. We talked about the Malakym shutting their paw. They couldn't answer nothing there.
on account of him.
And for what happened?
For what had not been told to them, they shall see.
See that? Now you understand that, don't you?
Yes, sir.
And what else?
And what they had not shama,
What happened?
they shall banah.
Guess what happened? So now when she came, and guess what? She understood it. Why they were so happy. How things went. She saw how he went up, remember? You ain't gonna believe it. They saw when Yahushua went up. See, everybody got to see why she got to see it, so it brought into comprehension. Remember, the conversation was who has believed
Our report.
and to whom.
As the armor of Yahuwah being
So
revealed.
she didn't believe it till it was revealed. Let's see what else happened.
I'm gonna go to
Who?
53.
That shouldn't have been it, should it? So go back up. 10. What was that? 10. What's this song? Oh, here we go. 10. Listen what Yahuwah said.
Yahuwah has bared his Kodash arm in the oon of all the Goyim.
Pay attention. Y'all see what he just told you he did? He wrote, so in order to reveal my own, what I got to do? Guess what how they going to know Yahushua?
Stripped him.
Because they took him down to Marsh Pot to prison. Remember, they stripped their clothes off. He just told you what he's going to do. He told them, he said, I'm going to make bare the arm. That's how they were going to know. How else we going to see it? You're going to have an idea about it while it's covered, but he said, I'm going to make it revealed. So I'm going to make bare the arm. What else?
That all the ends of the Arats may see the Yeshua of our all.
See that? Let's go look at something right quick. I'm trying to let you go. 27, 31 of the book of Mathathyahu. I try to finish all of them. There's other stuff I want to get, but I don't want to wear y'all too much. I know we've been going up here for a minute, but I appreciate y'all patience. Yahuwah willing may well come back and finish it up. He see fit. 27:31. Listen.
After they ridiculed him, they stripped the robe from him.
Hold on for a minute. After they did what?
Ridiculed him.
Listen what happened.
They stripped the robe from him.
Y'all see that? After they ridiculed him, they stripped the robe off of him. Hold what you got. That same book, 27. Jump back up to 19.
Yes, sir.
27:19. Same book. Listen.
And it came to pass, as he sat on a mashpah seat, his Ashah sent Debar to him, saying, let not your hand be on this Siddiq-ish, for on account of him I was afflicted greatly this yom in a kazum.
Should have had me wrote a title.
Kalamut.
Pelotas wrote a title. What was it, 27? 27, what verse? He put his name on the title. At 37. 37 verse. 27, 37. Shouldn't be down that far. What is it? Yucca 19. I was saying that, 19. You need to know it, 1930. 1919, Yahuchanan right quick. Yahuchanan 1919, they call it John. And then we'll come back and finish. We want to see why. See how this work out, how this played. Listen.
Pelotas wrote a tablet and placed it over the crucifixion. That was the wording in his inscription, Yahushua, the Nashri, Malak of the Yahudim.
See that? Now, see that? Showing his title. He told how that man was going to be an emperor. They put his title over his head. Listen.
Many Yahudim read the inscription because the Malakym where Yahushua was crucified was close to the city.
Y'all see that? So many of them read it because where they crucified him at was close to the city. He talked about many Goyim them coming to see him. We'll go back to the 27th chapter. 27:31. Mathathyahu. We just want to look at the title and why he put his inscription up there. He had to record his charge. You go to court now, you'll see they'll get a judge or file. He'll have it up there. Because that's your accusations. That's where he put his accusation there. That's where they get a judge. That's the old files he got. All those are your accusations. That was an accusation. He wrote on the tablet. And they put it over his head so everybody can read the charges. Listen.
After they ridiculed him.
Listen, after they ridiculed him.
They stripped the robe from him.
Wow.
Put his garments back on him, then led him away to be crucified.
Yes. And
it came to pass, as they went out, they found an Ish of Korini, whose Shem was Shimon.
Yeah.
And they forced him to carry his...
that same thing they did in slavery. They would always take us and take our clothes out. They did among them privately. That's what they do to take you to jail. They strip you. Take your clothes. That's the same thing they do. That's amazing. This ain't no new practice. The Romans and the Latin, that's what we got it from the Romans. The Romans and Greek notorious for stripping you naked.
That's right.
That's why they made these naked clothes. They get it from them.
That's right.
They don't do it now. You'd have toga parties.
Yeah.
Call it, they stopped doing it, played out.
Yeah.
70, 80 toga parties were big.
Yeah.
The Romans and Greek, that's where you get it from.
That's
all your
right.
freaky stuff. Come on.
They forced him to carry his crucifixion for him.
Listen.
they brought him to a Malakym called Golgotha.
Which is what?
That is a Malakym of a skull.
See that? The place of a skull. That's a high hill they had, and the head looked, and the rock looked like the head of a skull. Listen.
They gave him vinegar mixed with gall to drink.
Yeah.
He tasted it, but was not willing to drink it.
Hands on why he drank it. Hands why he tasted it. Good one. Ed right here back there first. Why, Ed? Because he was about to move. That's right, he was about to die. In the 30th chapter of the book of Mashaly, the Malakym, his aim told him, she said, strong drink is not for Malak. She said, you give it to him that's ready to move. That's why he tasted it. He would get ready to die. That's why we were told we don't drink it. On way you're supposed to get it, you're supposed to get it to him that's ready to move. So he tasted it, let you know, I'm ready to die. But see, when you don't know the book, you don't know that. You're just thinking, he said, right, that's how they fought you to justify drinking. He tasted it because he was ready to die. What was he getting ready to do?
Move.
And what he was telling you? I'm ready. Move. That's what you're supposed to do. Hold what you got right quick. 30th chapter, let's see right quick. Mashaly, they call Hebrews. So we can see his position in both ends. 31 and 1. Mashaly, they call Proverbs. Listen. You don't have it yet?
I can't find it.
You can't see it?
It's, yeah. The Dabarim of the Malakym, Lemuel, the oracle which his aim taught him.
We don't use oracle, so those are Greek words right there too. We don't use oracle. That's what they use. They always insert words that refer to some demonic. You know what I'm saying? When they use oracles, they refer to something else. Go ahead. We'll look at the letters of what she wrote as she spoke to him. Or we'll look at divinely inspired, in a sense, what they got for her. Come on.
What, O my being, and what, O my being of my womb, and what, O my being of my vows?
Come on.
Do not give your strength to Nashim.
See that? What happened?
Or your ways to that which destroys Malakym.
You see what she just told him? Don't give your strength to women, nor to the ways that destroy Malakym. Now you got to start looking at how did all our emperors fall? A lot of times, what? Played the women. So you'll see why he didn't have one. She just told him what to do. Remember, that's the son of her vows, or which were her berith. So we're going to look at same thing when you look at all of them they had, just like with Shamuel, who they call Shamshun. They look at with him, his mother, she had a vow for him. Now that with Yahushua. He made an agreement with her about her having him. So she let him know the same thing. Don't give your strength to the women, nor to that which destroy Malakym. Come on.
It is not for Malakym, O Lemuel, it is not for Malakym to drink wine.
So that's why he sat down at the Last Supper with them. That's why he told me I won't drink it. Because he was a Malakym. He looked at it, he said, I won't drink it. Listen.
Or for Serene to desire strong drink.
See that? Or for rulers to desire it. What happened?
Lest they shall drink and forget what is decreed.
See
and
that?
Pervert.
They'll forget their mom. You know, you'll find these group, these Hebrew like they big on that drinking stuff.
Yeah.
Pop, beer, look at them. I don't drink that foolishness. He just told you what to do. You get drunk, you're going to forget.
That's right.
Exactly what's going to happen. You're going to wind up getting drunk, you're going to forget. Come on.
And pervert the mashpah of all beneath of the afflicted.
See that? And he's going to pervert the judgment. See, he got to stay sober because he got to make judgment. Come on.
Give strong drink to him who
Give
is
who now?
Strong drink.
Give strong who?
Drink
to who?
Him who is perishing, and wine to those who are bitter in the fash.
See that? That's why when YashaYahu described him in the 53rd chapter, he talked about he was a man acquainted with sorrow.
That's right.
And grief. Guess what you do with a man acquainted with sorrow and grief? Man, you need a drink.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
That's what you look at. See, these folk don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They'll think he violated. He didn't violate. They're too stupid to understand. When he was sitting out there eating, he realized, I can't drink with you.
That's right.
I know how y'all see Mama Malakym, I can't drink. When he was getting ready to go and die, he said, yeah, I'm going to give me a taste before I leave.
Yeah.
That's what they told you. You give it to him that was in sorrow. You give it to him that's ready to move. Mm-hmm. Come on back up to what we had, 27th chapter. Do they want intelligent? No. They just want to read and find a verse to justify them getting drunk. I don't know why they folk don't want to read and stay sober.
That's right.
Always want to get drunk. All right, listen. 27, where you at? 32, 33?
35.
35. 27, 35. Mathathyahu, listen.
And it came to pass when they crucified him,
what happened?
They divided up his garments between them and cast lots to fulfill what was said by the Pa of the Nabi. They divided my garments up among them and for my clothes cast lots.
So now they just took his clothes and divided them up. What he had on?
Nothing.
Guess who was there?
The
Everybody. All nation was there, and they all seen him strip. That's why he told them, behold my abode. Listen, what else happened?
They sat there and watched him.
Oh my goodness. Now you want to say what? Them folk gay, what they watching it? They were watching, remember the same. Let's pay attention. What did the Malakym Sheba do when she came down to see Solomon?
Watched.
She was watching everything. She was watching his abadim, she was watching his cups, she was watching everything. So the people sitting down, get what they were doing. We were watching because he told us, behold, I'm going to make bare my arm.
Yes, sir.
My abode, he's going to be high. He's going to be very high. So all these things were confirmation because YashaYahu had already told us what he did. Remember, he saved.
Right.
He did.
Right.
Now we're getting to see, but remember, because we didn't believe it. That's why they were sitting down looking like she told them. Had I not seen it, I never would have believed it.
Right.
They just brought that man and stripped him, and then they just put him up high, above everybody.
Right.
So now it gave confirmation for them to among believe. That's why when you're being taught, it is so important to make sure things line up and intersect. We talked about relationship, making sure things connect. You can't just keep reading and closing your eyes praying because you won't find anywhere where people close their eyes to pray. They gave it to you as a slave and you never moved from it. And while your eyes have been closed, your eyes have been closed while you've been reading because you have refused to understand. You just read and say, well, it's only for him to know it. If it's only for him to know it, why do you have it? Because it's not only for him to know it, it's for you to know it. The man told you when you know the Amat, the Amat will give you the liberation. You don't have to be captive. You don't have to be in turmoil. You don't have to be in despair and distress because you know the Amat, that knowledge, that skill level allows you the ability to have a freedom. But when you set and you lack it, then it suppresses and it holds you back. This is our goal. Free ourselves. That's two.